Catboy Mooney when my D&D character had a
I think the first
flame
words
with
of the
a-
recording are Catboy Mooney, so thanks for that.
They actually are, which is brilliant.
You can
Okay,
edit them in post.
Next arc
bring it back.
title.
We do not
Interesting
edit this
idea,
before it goes on YouTube.
Jake.
Jake, we have never edited.
Right.
That's a really interesting idea that you thought of and brought up, Jake. Wow, never thought
Astrid,
about
shut it.
Be
Anyway,
nice.
stop it. Behave, children.
It's like BoJack
So-
Horseman, but set in the 2020s.
Yeah, okay. So, hello, good evening. How are we all? I hope we're okay, and we're not continuing to talk about cursed things whilst we're trying to play D&D. So, welcome back. Welcome back to Arc 4, Session 2, but the forest lies in the trees. Cacula's arc. So, last session, after an extremely stressful beginning to the arc, you guys found out that the crew of the Peak Skipper had in fact been arrested, and you needed to go find them, and that was incredibly stressful for everyone. So you went up to the Sky Docks, had a quick conversation with Tia Cordriel and Cloud Fox of the Forest Runner, who gave you some information about where the Black Mark jail is, so that you could go and find your lost friends. You Luther briefly hopped back on to his old ship and asked them to help out, and you know, you kind of got a little bit of help from the other sky pirates up there. You very quickly headed down towards the jail cells, managing to put together a fairly good and effective plan of setting a cart on fire that was bringing food and then running in when the guards were rolling incredibly low on their perception checks, which worked. So, you know, it was good. Our dear Cheese got destroyed in the recon, but Hathor can resummon him. He's going to be pissed, but Hathor can resummon him. You headed down into the Black Mark jail, finding a crystalline minotaur guarding the cells, and with 4 crits from our blood hunter, managed to deal a fair amount of damage very quickly, despite Luther also going down, and managed to take care of him very fast and free the Peak Skipper, finding, however, that in the cells that you'd found, Frostlion, Opal, and Scroll were missing. So you headed further into the jail cells and found a single room, small, dank, full of blood, and 2 individuals, a Furbolg barbarian rogue by the name of Vaxilim, and a drow gunslinger by the name of Riskel Tywin, and killed them for torturing your friends, which is a fair response. I was a bit hit and miss with Opal for a little bit, thinking that he may have actually died, but you manage successfully to make sure he was still fine, and Scroll and Frostlion were also found beaten, bruised, battered, in a pretty rough shape, but alive. You managed to get back out of the jail cell using Cacula's fog cloud to distract the guards, and also the 5 other members of the Cloaks or Sky Pirates who had been imprisoned there, who gave a distraction whilst the crew of the Peak Skipper split and disappeared into the Stokes, with the promise of meeting back up on the Peak Skipper as soon as they could, so that the ship could get out. And that's where we left off. So, what would you like to do? You are hurrying through the city. You are currently on the map for where you guys are. You guys had left the jail here and headed down this way, whereas Farlin had headed in that direction to go round with the other half of the crew. It'll take you from this point to get to the Sky Docks, maybe an hour and 15 minutes. You're slowed, though, by having to support the injured members of the crew. So you're looking at maybe an hour and 45 minutes to get there, unless you're really pushing it.
Shall continue to go.
Yeah. Let's go.
Okay, yeah. very fair. You are welcome to continue to move.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Keeping an eye out for pursuers or
Other trouble.
trouble.
What time is it?
It's early morning. You guys broke in about 9, I'd say, and you cleared the cells very, very quickly. So I'd say between 9:30 and 10.
Mhm.
That's not bad.
Yeah, you've done really well because you were up at 4, so you've managed to get a lot of stuff done very quickly.
And just to,
Can
sorry,
No, go on. It's cool.
just to like make sure, the plan that we quickly discussed with Farlan is that we are going straight to the peak skipper.
Mhm.
Everyone's going straight to the peak skipper.
Yeah, I think that was the plan we arranged.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, because I got a little bit confused last session. I just wanted to make sure I had it right now.
Mhm.
Yeah, you did contact at the end of last session. You did contact Cloud Fox of the Forest Runner and ask him and the Dulions to get the peak skipper prepared so that when you guys do manage to get there,
I'm just gonna book
they'll
it.
be able to just go. Yeah,
Mhm.
you can leave. That is something that has already been checked out. If you want to check back in and check if that's fine, you'll have to cast another sending message.
I can't.
He doesn't have any way of talking to you, I'm afraid.
Could
Are you out of thirds?
I'm out of basically everything.
Okay.
Yes.
I've got 2 firsts, nothing else.
Can you turn into anything strong that could carry someone? Just, to help us move a bit faster. I don't know the limits of your druid abilities at this point.
I can't remember.
Am I carrying all of them? I feel like I would be.
I think last session as we were walking down, we'd sort of spread everybody out across.
I think we were
Oh,
all like
yeah.
supporting people.
Everyone
Yeah,
is
I just-
supporting someone currently. Yeah, I made you make dex checks for it.
Yeah.
You
but I
would
just
move
figured
faster
that
if
if
Cacula
Cacula
could
carried
be something.
the person who was worst, then we would probably get there
Yeah.
a bit faster.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But I don't know if
Frost Lion is
Cacula
the
can be
most
someone that
injured.
big.
Cacula would know. I am checking my druid table.
I think you could probably turn into something like a horse at this level.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Like a
You
mule.
could definitely
maybe.
be. You could definitely
Donkey.
be a pack animal that's seen within the city.
Oh,
I'm
Cacula.
not sure.
I get it.
Terrible.
Okay. So far, the only ones I have from my druid table are rat, spider, raven, and cat, but those are all 0. So let me just. Oh wait, no. Here we go.
I was gonna say the druid table's a lot longer
I
than
could
that.
turn into a mule or a camel.
Okay.
I called mule.
You did. I think I'm going to go with mule because I feel like that would be least.
Suspect it's a fucking camel.
Yeah. Yeah, this is not a desert area. Why are you a camel? Kind of thing.
I mean, I don't
When
think I
I-
even would have seen a camel before, so I probably couldn't
No.
actually turn to a camel because I wouldn't know what one was or that they existed. So I think mule. Oh, okay.
Okay,
Astrid.
Not related.
Astrid has to restart their laptop.
Oh.
Do we want to
I'll be
take a
on-
break while
I'll-
they do that?
No. I'll just disappear off the roll 20, but I'll still be here.
Oh,
You
okay.
don't
Okay.
need the roll 20 right now. You're fine.
Cool. Yeah, so I will wild shape into a mule so they can
Okay.
put. Yeah,
Okay. I think Kitto has Frostline and we'll try and help him up onto
cool.
Yeah,
White-
Frostlight is the most injured.
I'm white with very dark blue, like freckle-like spots.
So
like,
incredibly
dark.
conspicuous.
I know, but this is the standard I set. I can't like
It's up to you.
You could
change
grey
it.
mottle. Grey mottle.
Yeah.
You could be
Is there a
dark
thing?
blue with
You
little
could
white
be-
spots, which
You
would
could
be
be
much
very
less.
dark.
You
You
could
can
be
do
a,
what you want. It's
conspicuous.
wild shape.
you could be a dark grey mottled pony.
Wait, so you can pick what color you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, well I'm gonna pick something way less than that.
Sylph,
thought you had
Sylph
to have,
flicks
like-
between color systems all the time. Like, no. I also
thought
play a
you had
tiefling
to-
druid.
Like decide what the mark of you as the creature was, and then stick with that the whole time.
Yeah, but
I
your
think some
mark
people do
is
that
your
for fun.
freckles.
Yeah,
and
not the color
it's also
of
a-
my.
Yeah.
It's
Cool.
not the color of
Sort
your
of flavor
skin. Your
thing.
mark is it's
Okay.
a flavor thing, and your mark is your freckles, like Syl's is his tattoo. It's not really necessary. It's just
Cool. Okay, cool. Then I'm going to be very grey.
You can be very grey
spots.
with mottled spots. Yep.
Just the most boring mule you've ever seen.
What's the strength modifier on a mule?
Good question. I'm going to look it up right now.
Very strong.
Yeah,
Because
so strong.
Just
I can carry the entire party, and my speed is
Frostlion
100.
Frostlion is quite large.
He's a hefty lad. Let me look it
He's-
up in the companion.
He's not particularly heavy. He's just quite tall.
Mule is under monsters. Hilarious. Imagine having an encounter with just a mule.
Everything's under monsters. All beasts are under monsters.
Level 1, that could be a
My
problem.
strength is +2.
Okay, you're fine then. Yeah.
My
you've got
strength
no
is
problem.
+2.
Yeah.
All right.
So with you carrying Frostlion as the only member of the group of the people that you're with who's actually physically slowing you, you'll be fine. You'll be able to
My
get there
speed is
around.
40 feet as well. Apparently, I am considered to be a large animal for the purposes of determining carrying capacity.
Okay, fabulous. That's wonderful. So you definitely can carry Frostlion.
Or like go up and nuzzle Nerin in a way that is attempting to convey good idea, and then I'll go.
Yeah. Once Frostlion's up there, Kitto is gonna I can give you a hand or I can scout ahead if you want. I don't know if there'll be any problem when we get there.
Scouting may be an idea. I don't want us to run into any more issues.
Okay.
Not like
okay.
this.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So Kitto's gonna go on ahead and like
Okay. Okay. Roll perception, Kitto.
I would love to. That's 25.
Okay, yeah. The city is alive with its usual bustle and people bashing around. You know, the Stokes are busy as ever. And you continue through, and it's full of your usual clattering sounds and everything. You don't see anyone ahead or behind you who appears to be following you or clocking you in a particularly weird manner. Aside from the fact that, I mean, Frostlion looks pretty badly beaten, so people keep glancing at him, but he's keeping his head down. Scroll has Scroll has a hood that they tend to wear, and they have it pulled right over their face to hide the fact that they are currently missing their face plate, and is not leaving Spirit's side. Opal is the other person who's really badly injured, and is pretty much sticking to Luther because his sense of perception is completely off right now. He can't work out balance or anything right now, so he's very much curled into Luther, and his white fur is mottled with blood. But whilst Opal and Frostlion are getting weird looks, the city is also full of people who are used to fighting, and so are not willing to poke at the scene, let's say.
Also, I feel like we're in the, what are we, in the underbelly of the
You're in the underbelly of the Stokes right now.
So I feel like
Yeah.
there's also a lot of people willing to look the other way.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of people who are willing to go, these guys probably had a fight with the Black Mark. We're not going to bother them.
And we
like,
won.
you did very effectively. Yeah, so you are definitely ignored as you continue through the city. The other members of the crew are look unwell in the way of they probably didn't sleep much, and also look a bit beaten and bruised, but nothing particularly terrible. With you, you have actually Kip, Fenrir, and then that's it, other than like Scroll Spirit and Frostlion and Opal. The rest went with Farlin to split up the other way, and you definitely have not seen them. And Kitto, even with a 25, you don't see them. And you're quite happy that you don't bump into them. Like, that's Farlin's clearly done his job well. You also know that you're taking the more direct route, so you're more likely to hit the peak skipper before they do. So you just, it won't worry you if you hit the peak skipper first, is all I'm saying. Okay. Is there anything you guys want to talk about, or we'll just bounce to you guys getting to the peak skipper?
Nope. Just
I'll
trying
probably
to
just be like reassuring all pull, but apart from that, I'm good. Like, that's not to be RP'd.
Yeah, I'm just trying to go like as quickly but as steadily as I possibly can. So I'm like trying to jar Frost Lion as least as I possibly can. I know like it's somewhat inevitable, but
yeah, it's a cobblestone city, but he appreciates it nonetheless. And yeah, it's, as I say, it takes you about an hour, just over an hour and 15 minutes to get to the sky docks, and we'll put you on the correct aesthetic. There we go. And at this time, it's bright and it's bustling, and there are tradesmen coming in and out all the time, just constantly preparing for things. And you see as you come in that the sails of the peak skipper are raised. It does look like it's prepared as much as it can be by the people who were around the Dulions and the Forest Runner to be able to get you out of there as much as possible. The ship, however, does appear to be abandoned. There doesn't appear to be anybody on it yet.
Go to head on.
Yeah.
That's
No worries.
okay.
Okay.
We
Yeah,
should
so you head up.
first.
Say that again, Hathor.
We should send some other people first to just double check
Let me just scout.
if the sails are up.
I can. Kitto will go in as well.
Okay, you're going on ahead. What are you looking for in particular? Are you just looking?
Looking for any kind of, basically like any ambush or signs that something's been messed with, or people on there who shouldn't be on there.
Okay. For people on there who shouldn't be on there, there aren't any people on there, from what you can see. You scout the ship, but the ship does look to be in working order. It's humming again in the way that the skyship does, so the engines are online. It's not, so the humming of the peak skipper is slightly different, obviously, because the peak skipper has the
magical
completely
engine.
arcane engine. Yeah, it doesn't have that hum. It has the usual hum, which means that they've definitely powered up the steam power engine, and it does appear to be like spewing steam, as though most of them are. That Lisa?
There's just me and Kitto on the ship, yeah? No one else?
Yes. Nobody
I'll
else.
kick behind me just in case.
You do not find anyone.
Better safe than sorry.
Exactly, all these days.
Yeah. No, the ship is completely abandoned. It does look like people did do as you requested, though. Like, the sails are raised and ready to go. The ship is ready to move, but there is nobody here.
Okay.
The Forest Runner is still next to you, next to the peak skipper, and as you look over, you can see Tia, the human man who talked to you in the first place, stood at the guard rail, noticing you guys come on, and just kind of waves a hand as though to say, "You're good." Basically.
Cool. Much appreciated.
Okay.
What's our plan then, Kitto? We're just sailing in any direction until he dies down?
Yeah, if you need to get anything set up, you can do that. I'll let the others know it's safe. Then he'll pop his head back out and say, "Seems fine. Seems ready to go."
Frost Lion very slowly climbs off Cacula, kind of pats Cacula and limps over to his own ship. He's moving very slowly, and his tail is dragging very uncomfortably behind him. And the other members of...
Nerin will hold his tail.
Okay.
Just walking behind him.
Yeah, it's like curved, draconic style. But yeah, you can carry it, and he does appreciate that.
Do we have any medical supplies on the ship?
Yes, one of the ship's individuals who went with Farlin, Ermik, is a healer of the mechanical kind rather than the magical kind. So yes, there are definitely medical supplies on the ship.
Brill.
Yeah, when we get there, I have a herbalism kit as well that I've been meaning to crack out, but obviously it's very high speed, so we haven't had a chance yet. But when we do, I've got that available as well.
But Frostline kind of waves a hand, and the members of the crew who are able to, i.e. Kip and Fenrir, hurry on, Spirit and Scroll following them, and Opal is reticent to leave you, Lusa. Doesn't want to move too quickly, but does head on after his captain. And you guys are heading onto the ship too. Is there anything else you guys want to do before you go onto the ship?
I was just
No.
going to ask Frostlion if there's anything we can do to help. You know.
I wouldn't ask this of you if I didn't have to, but would it be too much to ask if you would come with us for a bit, just until we can come back here without?
Of course.
Not at all.
Not sure how well everyone's going to cope, and if we get attacked or ambushed, or if they come after us, I don't think we can hold our own.
But we can.
Yes, I know. You have been incredibly helpful in the past, and I trust you, and I think I have a theory as to what happened, and if I'm right, I want you to be there to help.
Okay, we can talk about it later if you want.
Yeah.
When
For now, let's get going. You sit down and I'll see what I can do with this kit, all right?
Thank you. Hathor,
Oh.
you said you spoke to the forest runner.
Yeah.
They're still there. Do you think you could go give the captain my regards? Thank him for his assistance.
Sure. I'll jog off.
We'll follow you, Hathor, and then we'll come back. The forest runner is still parked beside the peak skipper. Are you going to head over just straight down to the gangplank?
Yeah.
Okay.
And just make my way up.
Yeah. Tia comes out immediately and
Mm-hmm.
oh, hey, you're back. Are they okay? They looked. That wasn't all of them, and
Beaten and bloodied, but everybody's alive and everybody's upright.
good. Yes. Sorry, you probably don't want to talk to me. Do you want me to get the captain?
Yeah, Frostline just wants to say thanks.
Of course, 1 second. And he runs off and comes back with the Cloud Fox. Who, you're back. I hope the ship is in good working order. We don't understand the engines particularly, but the 2 lions helped.
You've been more than helpful, and I'll hold my hand out for him to shake. And
He shakes it.
thank you for everything.
Sky Pirate, stick with Sky Pirates. Hathor, right? That's your name.
Hathor Ermik. Hathor
His
Ermik.
face kind of. Ermik. Do you know a Rosanna Ermik?
Yeah, she's my mum.
Right. You're one of her kids, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
She helped me out with a job a little while ago.
Yeah, she does that. I guess
Yes,
I
yes.
do that too now.
Well, I certainly know that if I can trust I can trust anything, I can trust her children. She was incredibly helpful in getting vengeance after the death of my son. So I very much appreciated her efforts and time. Yes. But I won't keep you if you must go back to the peak skipper and
Everyone's alive and okay.
Good. I'm glad they're a good crew. They've been very helpful with the railroad, with the Sky Road, and getting people out. And Frostlion's a good kid.
We'll look after him.
I'm glad. Right. Tell your mother I said hi. I should
I will.
see if I can talk to her at some point. It's been a while.
She's where she always is.
I'm sure she is. At the front. He kind of straightens up and heads off, and Tia kind of blinks, looks over you a little. Roll me an insight check.
Okay. What is my insight? 0, I think. Okay. 12.
Okay, maybe Tia's heard the name Ermik. You're not sure. You're not sure if he met her maybe in the initial investigation, perhaps, or something like that. There's like a brief flash of recognition when you mentioned your mother's name and your mother.
Does he look
doesn't
positive or negative?
Yeah, no, it looks positive. It doesn't look to be anything big. It's just kind of a okay kind of moment. And you think maybe that he possibly has met Rosanna before. You're not sure.
I feel like everybody in the city knows who Rosanna is.
And if you're walking in the right circles, Rosanna is quite well known, yes.
Maybe.
Yeah, so Tia just kind of clicks his head a little and is like, okay, sure. Okay, and then just kind of, thanks for bringing back news, I guess.
You're all right. He told me to come say hi, so I came and said hi.
Yeah, as the captain said, helped us out in a few scrapes.
Well, now we owe you one, I guess.
That's not how it works around here. Captain, I'd never pull in something like that. No. No.
Right. I'll be going. Thanks.
And you. He heads off. Okay. So back to the rest of you. Cacula, were you?
Hello. Kit.
Kit. Yes. Are you using the medical kit or are you using the herbalism kit?
I have a medical kit? Oh, it's on the ship.
No,
I'm
but
smart.
there is one on the ship. Yeah.
Probably the medical kit is probably going to have more good stuff in it.
Yeah, there's a medicine kit on the ship that you can get access to quite easily. Aramir uses it a lot. What are you trying to do?
I guess as much as I can, do some like quick binding and bracing, especially of his broken tail. And like as much as I can, ease the physical strain and pain. And then once I'm done with Frost Lion, I'll start like going around the worst injured of the rest of the crew, if I can.
Roll me a medicine check.
Kitto help.
Kitto definitely can help, yeah. So roll medicine with advantage for me, and we'll see how you get on with patching up the crew.
Does the kit give me any bonuses?
It lowers the DC.
Ah, sexy. Cool. Be good.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that's all right.
Nice.
Yeah, so DC when using a medicine kit to like brace and bandage stuff is 10 rather than 15 overall. So
Nice.
yeah, it lowers the DC on that. So yeah, you are quite able to brace Frost Lion's tail in a point that you think it will heal in a way that isn't crooked and probably will cause him less pain. You also manage to slightly sling it by curving it, by lifting it and then tying the sling to his own belt, and you think you can it will probably hold enough. Unfortunately, your tail is light and like almost prehensile and cat-like. Dragonborn tails are lizard-like. They're heavy and big, and it's a lot more work than your own tail. And you think if you'd ever broken your tail, it would be a lot easier than this. And Frost Lion is just kind of in pain a lot of the time. The bone is much thicker and bigger in his tails, but he is quiet and doesn't complain at all. And you do manage to brace that to the point where it's okay. You are very aware that there is a possibility that he has some damage to his lungs from the break in his ribs, which does look to be quite bad. And you know the only way to get that to heal is to get him to stop moving.
Okay. Well, in that
Also,
case,
that is difficult.
I will gently bind his ribs, and take some of the herbs from my herbalism kit that I know are good for like soothing, and pack those in the bandages. And then I'll say to him, I don't want to alarm you, but there's a possibility that some of the breakage in your ribs has damaged your lungs. And if you don't stop moving, there's a much higher chance it will be a lot worse. And you can't captain a crew if you can't breathe.
Fine.
Thank you.
There's a chair in my office.
Right.
If I bring it out onto the deck,
I will bring it out onto the deck.
If you bring it out into the deck, I will stay there.
Thank you.
Cacula, you're doing this. I'll go get it.
All right. Thank you, Kitto.
Thank you. Both of you. I appreciate it.
I just put a very gentle hand on his shoulder and just say, we wouldn't have done anything else.
Very loyal. Go see to Opal. I think he could possibly do with some better news.
I will. Okay. I mean, I'll start walking away and then I'll turn around and say, if it comforts you, you very much still can give orders from a chair.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. Keep my crew in control. Farlin's best right-hand man I could ever ask for. He'll be fine. He'll help. Okay. Are you going to find Opal?
Mm-hmm.
Opal has finally given up shadowing Luther for the while, like a slightly odd, albino shadow, and is sat against the mast, his eye shut, playing with a dagger in his hands, but just looks sort of like, the only reason that you don't think he's passed out is because he's still flicking the dagger between his two hands, still like throwing and catching it. Luther, also, you're very aware of this because you're also on the ship.
Yeah.
From a safe distance away, I will just say, Opal, it's me, Cacula. I just thought I'd give you a heads up that I'm approaching.
I'm still a cat and I can still hear you, don't worry.
But that's very fair, but also you've had quite a traumatic day, and balance is difficult at the best of times.
Yes.
I have some herbs that I think might soothe the ache a little, and we should bandage it up anyway.
Yes. He opens his good eye and kind of nods slightly to let you come over.
Cool.
You can't do much for him even with that medicine check. I'm going to hold it for everyone.
That's valid.
But he's lost the eye. There's no way he'll be able to see out of it again. But you can clean it and you can make sure it doesn't get infected.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell him that then, basically.
Yeah. He doesn't seem surprised.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the world. With enough training, you can still fight.
I never was a very good fighter. You know that.
I disagree. You got me out of prison. We're even now.
Of all of the years I've known you, Luther, I didn't think you would be one to keep count at whether or not we're even.
Keep counting all sorts of random stats. Don't worry.
Fair.
You still seem pretty handy with that dagger. I don't think you've got much to worry about. And now you can have fun eye patches.
Yes. Just hope I can still be of use as a navigator.
You still have your mind.
I can still tell you where north is. I can still see the stars.
Exactly.
I just need to work out distance. Not going to be much use at range, but then again, I never was. So that's nothing new, is it? Fine.
Cool.
I'll be fine.
Yes. Yes, you will. And then I'll go around and just tootle around everyone.
Kip and Fenrir both seem vaguely okay. Kip is basically uninjured aside from some mild bruising. Fenrir, as I said, has a shattered cheekbone, but you can't really do much for that other than give him some pain meds, like it'll heal. And
I'll just crash some herbs into some hot water for him.
Yeah.
And then tell him that I'll have some magical healing tomorrow. Just be still, don't bother it.
He seems fine. He seems frustrated. He seems very frustrated and very like Kip is trying to calm him down. He is very angry at this having happened, but he seems fine. You can't find Atri or Scroll or Spirit on the top deck. They appear to be down below decks.
I wouldn't really know what to do for them anyway. I mean, Atri probably, but not Spirit or Scroll.
Atri, when you saw him, seemed basically uninjured.
Okay, so I'm not going to go and bother them then.
A couple of superficial wounds, but nothing that like a good night's rest and some like actual like bandages that he can do himself.
They have an important job to do right now, which is engine fixing. So
yeah, they are.
I'm not going to go and harass them.
Yeah, as you finish talking to Opal, the ship kind of lurches slightly, and you realise that the low hum of the arcane engines has kicked back in. He appears to have managed to rewire the engines, and it's humming again. And as that happens, there's a quick scuffle of "Captain," and then you turn around and notice that Farlin is hurrying, kind of still dragging his right leg behind him, but is hurrying onto the deck, followed by the other members of the crew. Who again look mainly superficially injured. Taran has some mild injuries, but aside from cleaning them up and bandaging them, there isn't really much else you can do for them.
Cool. Yeah, I'm heading to Farlin first, like bracing that leg, and then I'll go around the rest of them after.
Yeah, it looks like there's some vicious bruising on it, and you're not sure whether or not it's like if he's twisted his knee and sprained it. It looks like from the way he's holding it, that's all you can gather from it. It doesn't look broken, and there isn't any blood or anything, but you think possibly he may have fallen and twisted his knee.
Fallen has fallen. Sorry. Sorry. I'm going to give him my staff as well, so he can use that to walk around on. Brace the knee.
An apology for the pun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a terrible pun.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself.
I liked it. It was a good one.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? Nerin, what are you up to at this point? Cacula's doing that, so Hathor, you're off. Nerin, Luther, Kitto, what are you up to?
If there's a place where Luther can smoke, he will be having a cigarette somewhere.
You can definitely do that. Yeah, I mean, it's open, so you can definitely just smoke and have no problem with that. You're still pretty rough, all of you, I think. So, you know.
I'm particularly rough.
You are particularly rough, Hathor.
Well, I will. When Hathor comes back, he will also be subjected to Cacula's mini hospital.
Yep.
I was going to go down to whatever the store area is and see what supplies they have food-wise.
Okay. It doesn't look like any. Yeah, it doesn't look like any of the like dried food is gone off or anything like that. It doesn't strike you as like anything.
And it seems like there's a good amount. It's not like, oh no, we're going to run away and run out of food really soon.
Yeah, it looks like they've definitely got enough to last them for like 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay, that's good.
They appear to be stockpiling a lot of food.
Yeah. Feeling confident that I don't need to go and buy them food, I will go into the kitchen and try and start making some kind of healing. You know, I'm not actually mechanically healing, but you know, something nice and soothing, so that when the ship starts going, I can give people some nice stew or soup or something.
Nerin's soothing stew.
Exactly. I will just like try and make something so that in a while people can
roll your cook's proficiency for me.
Food. Here it comes. What is it? Is it just plus
It's intelligence plus proficiency.
intelligence? That's not one of my good ones, but oh well. Intelligence plus intelligence. Ah, what happened?
10. You rolled a
plus
10 on intelligence. 3, I think.
13.
You make enough food definitely to feed the crew, and it is definitely enough to do well feeding the crew. It's nice, it's tasty, it's nothing special. It's warming.
Yes.
It's what you want, really.
Yeah.
You're injured or sick. Don't really want
Erin's
like a big taste
still
sensation.
learning.
I'm
And
proud
he's
of
not
him.
really very clever, so
Oh,
Yeah, he's doing really
he's
well.
really panicked.
Yeah.
He
Doing his
forgot the
best.
paprika.
Yeah, that's it. Kitto, what are you up to?
Putting the chair on deck and then going to get Frostlion and kind of see if he needs a hand getting up to it.
He does, and he is resistant, but takes your help anyway, in a very kind of annoyed that he has to be helped, but will accept it.
He's taken it, and that's how you know he both A, likes you, and B, is really genuinely very injured.
Yeah, like he's in a lot of pain. But he kind of settles into the chair and winces as he manages to adjust his tail to the point where it isn't bashing against anything.
Yeah,
Thank you.
no problem. Do you
Yeah, no, go on.
No, sorry.
You did well in there. I didn't think we were getting out of that one.
Well, I'm glad we were able to make it.
Yeah, me too. Glad everyone's still there, still alive.
Yeah, it will take time, but you'll be okay. You'll all be okay.
Yeah. Now the crew's on board. You get me Fallen.
Yeah, of course.
Get going as soon as we can.
Yeah,
Is
of
Hathor
course.
back?
I'll go check when I get down.
Thank you.
Don't go anywhere.
I won't, I promise.
And Kitto will then go looking for Farlin and also Hathor.
Okay. Hathor reappears about this time. Still bleeding and looking injured, but reappears.
Everything all right?
Yeah, I said thanks. Everything's okay.
Okay, great. I think we're going to be heading off sooner
Yes.
rather than later. Have you seen Farlin, or can I find him?
You can find Fallen. He's just got back on the ship. Cacula has just finished tending to him.
You sure?
Pod straight to the engine room.
Frostlion's on deck and wants to talk to you.
Me?
Oh.
No, Farlin.
Fallen. Oh, yeah, sure. Thanks.
Would
I'll
you
just check in with Captain.
let me have another look at it later? There's something strange about it. I don't want it getting infected.
Sure, yeah. He heads off. Hathor, are you running straight to the engine room?
Yes.
There you are.
Okay, I can't. You're gonna have to talk because I can't see you if you don't tell me.
Oh,
things, unfortunately,
yes.
because
No,
Zoom is
I
on
was-
my phone, so it flicks between whoever's speaking. So I need
I'm
you to
just
actually tell me
nodding
rather than nodding. I can't see you. Okay,
Nodding away.
I can't see it. Okay. Cacula, are you gonna try and stop Hathor?
Yeah, I'm not going to try and stop him. Well, I mean, I will. I guess I fail. I just follow after him. Like, literally, I imagine he, like, sets off as soon as Cacula goes, right, well, why don't you sit down here and, like, pats the stool. Hathor's like, whoop.
Bye. Yep.
Cacula's, like,
Kitto
chasing
is
after
like,
him
"I'm
with some
driving
bandages and some, like, damp herbs. Like, get back here.
Yep.
A bandage in each
You
hand. Like,
can't help Atri if you bleed on all of the machinery.
I will.
Hathor also,
I will
out of
cast
just
it.
mechanical enjoyment, Hathor, you're still carrying a massive trident, a gun, and a belt. You're just holding them.
In your hands. You're not you're not even got them in your belt.
Okay,
fix
are you
the
going-
ship. We have technology. Swing.
Here's a trident. You're going to Atri.
Yeah.
Okay. Atri is downstairs, bashing around with the mechanical things. You also run past Spirit and Scroll, who are curled, like not paying attention to anybody else, really not doing anything else. They are in the engine room, interestingly enough. And Atri is bashing about at the engines, and he looks up and, well, got them working again.
I can see. Need a hand?
You look like you're about to fall over.
Yes, he does. You sit on this stool for 3 minutes, Hathor, and then you can go.
Deal with him, Cacula.
Stars above.
Actually,
Sit down.
turns back round to continue with his work. Okay, I don't think mechanically you can heal Hathor because you're out of spells.
I'm just gonna slap some nice soothing herbs on there and bandage him up a little bit so he's not actively bleeding everywhere.
Yeah, you can do that.
I'll make him feel better.
I like the idea that Hathor has been bleeding everywhere for an hour and a half walking through the city and going onto someone else's boat.
Yeah.
Just blood everywhere in a trail.
Yeah. That could have been the weird look you got from Tyr. It could have just been, why are you covered in blood?
Hathor comes on and goes, everything's fine.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, our ship isn't now, is it?
Yeah, it's covered in blood.
Fucking blackguards are like, I wonder where they went, seeing the huge blood trail.
There's a blood trail. Yep. But once Cacula has mechanically done what he can, Atri is happy to take your assistance. He kind of points you over and goes, connect those wires up, I need to, and then as soon as he actually manages to get you, and he's snappier than usual, like he's always been good to you, and he's not mean, he's just very instructive. He's very like, do this, deal with that kind of thing. He's very clearly working under crisis, and it's just been, okay, all emotion goes out of my head, I deal with the problem right now and I fix it. And he just instructs you, and as soon as he's instructed you, he goes over to Spirit and Scroll and like stands in front of them and has a very brief conversation with them. You can roll perception, I guess, if you want to see what's going on. Cacula, if you're still there, you can do the same.
Okay.
Hathor sees fucking nothing. Hathor's never
Duality
seen
of man.
anything in his life.
Hathor at that very moment goes, oh, I've still got all this stuff in my hands.
Hathor's like, wow, I should identify some of this shit.
Yeah,
He's
Hathor's
like,
like, I
I've been
can't
here the
see
whole
it.
time.
Yeah. Hathor's like, I can't see anything because there's two swords covering his eyes.
just holding the trident like this. Cacula, you notice that Atri is has his hands up against Scroll's face, and you realize that Scroll's faceplate is back over his face. It doesn't appear to be completely connected yet, and Atri is stood there gently casting the spell Mending repeatedly to try and repair the damage done and put it back on. But it looks like it's taking time and effort and is clearly stressing both at all of the above of Atri, Scroll, and Spirit. Because whilst it is working, it is taking a lot longer than any of them want it to, and Scroll is feeling very exposed.
I'll just
and also Atri is trying to rebuild the ship at the same time, so it's not going great.
I can't really help, so
unfortunately, unless you have the spell Mending, it's the only thing that's going to benefact here, so he's doing that. but as soon as like Astrid has managed to get Hathor to get a few things, he turns around and looks at you, Cacula, and goes, tell the captain we're good to go. Let's get out of here. Let's go. Let's go.
All right. And Cacula will like run, run as fast as his little lanky legs can carry him. Poke his head out of the like trapdoor and just say, "We're good to go."
We're going.
There's Frostlion looks up and from a conversation that he's having with Farlin and goes, Farlin goes, everybody posts, let's go, let's move. And then the ship comes alive. You've seen the flight of the ship before, and it's just this sudden movement of everything going. The ship just bursts into life as people immediately scatter to their posts, desperate to try and find spots to go. And the deckhands are going, the ship sails are going, and then Cacula, with you half on deck and half not deck, you can hear Astrid cursing slightly as he manages to punch the engines into gear and get them to start moving. Farlin takes the helm and continues to fly, and you watch as Torrans unmoors the ship, pulling out the moorings with his literally yanks them with his strength, and the ship is once more flying, and you are leaving the city of Utopia behind for the time being. You haven't asked where you're going.
Nope.
But you're going.
Life.
You're not flying into the Baywick range, so that's not the place you're going. You're going the other direction. This is what you know. You're going south.
On deck, Frostline.
Yeah.
Where are we going?
We're going to Tula.
Right. Okay. Do you want to talk about what happened there, or?
No, we should let us get out of the sight of the city, and then we'll gather up and we'll talk. There's a lot to say, I think. And it takes about 20-ish, 30, 40 minutes for you to get over the city and out of sight. And once that happens, Hathor, you're nudged out of the areas of the decks with actually going, go on, it'll fly itself now. Go. Let me
be helpful.
You were wonderfully helpful. Now go. I have things that need doing, so go. And are you all heading up to the top deck?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay. So you find yourselves on the top deck. The crew are kind of scattered about, busily doing their own thing. They're not really paying very much attention to you. As I say, Farlin is currently the one at the helm where Frostlion usually would be, but Frostlion is sat a little bit off in his chair. And as he sees Hathor come out, he kind of waves to get you all to come over. And kind of looks at you all. Thank you. I know I said it, but I don't think I'll be able to say enough. I really appreciate everything you've done for this crew. You've certainly made it a lot easier for us to get out of here.
It's no bother.
Go to get in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
It's appreciated.
Just maybe don't ask right now.
Yes, you look like you're about to fall over, Hathor.
Hathor, sit down.
Ermik can take a quick look at you if you need. Might be
fine.
able to patch you up a bit.
What happened?
It was early. It was really early. I was working when most of the crew were asleep. We came on deck and things the black mark don't tend to conduct raids. They are... This is not something that is usual for them at all. But they took the whole crew. Most of them were sleeping, and the ones who did put up a fight, you saw Farland's leg and Fenrir's face. They weren't exactly kind. I panicked when they came for me. I didn't know what to do, and I thought the only thing that I could do was I could try and get some word out. I grabbed the sending stone. Sorry for waking you.
I'll like lean forward and put my hand on his hand very lightly, just say, you saved their lives. And yours. Please don't apologize.
I hope so. But they knew where to find us. Luther, you would know this. You've been a sky pirate for a while. They don't... One of the most important parts of being a sky pirate is they don't know the ship you're on. They never know the ship. Because if they know the ship, they can get you and they can get the crew. And
it's true. Sky pirates bounce from ship to ship.
Yeah, they always have done. It's natural. Most crews don't stay together for very long, or if they do, they're very careful to not interact with anyone they could perceive to be a threat.
You suggesting this information was leaked?
Someone betrayed us. Someone betrayed us.
Who knew?
There are very few people who knew who we are. The other sky pirates maybe, but they're not dumb enough to... No one... They don't betray each other.
Yeah.
They never have. The other people who knew who we were are you. And it's not like I clearly trust you. You haven't. It didn't even occur to me to think that you would have done this. No. The only other way this information could have gotten out was if we fucked up in our last routine, in our last job. I think one of the slaves that we freed in Tula and took to Tula wasn't a slave at all.
That would fit. It depends how they're getting the word out from Tula then.
That's what I'm worried about. I don't know, but you have sending stones. They're easy to hide. Can be easily replicated by an artificer.
We got these sending stones from that job.
Precisely. What if they weren't the only pair?
What if we're being tracked?
Yeah. What if we're being scried on? I don't know.
Maybe we should get rid of these.
Hathor, I don't know if you looked them over. You'd know if you identified them perfectly that whether or not they would be tracked.
I
did. Would have to,
they weren't.
And they're not.
It didn't flag.
It's not. But they could scry, or they could just have another set or a plant. It's not unheard of. It's not common, but it's not unheard of.
They could scry on us. If they've been on the ship, they can scry on the ship. The ship is an object.
Yeah. Or if word was getting out about Tula, it's not unthought of that they wouldn't want to know where it is. Try and destroy it.
If we've taken a rat to that place.
That's why we're going back. I can't live with myself with the idea that we took a rat there.
Okay. We could go back and find everything exactly as we left it. Or we could go back and find everything in smoke.
That's the risk we're taking.
We won't know till we get there. The best thing we can do right now is rest up. Like,
Agreed.
in this
So-
condition, it's not the time to be making a plan for any of us. None of you have eaten, right? Since you got back.
I've smoked.
That's not food.
Did you eat it after? Anyway.
Crunchy cigarette.
Yum, yum, yum. You're not supposed
I
to eat
watched somebody do that today in the TV show I was watching.
Are you sure it wasn't one of those sweets?
Nope, it was lit.
Oh,
them. Luther would. Anyway.
Luther absolutely would.
Yeah.
Actually,
Weird that you brought it up.
What I'm saying is you
Luther
need to get
has.
some rest.
Yeah.
How long's the journey from here?
To Tula, straight journey. A day and a half.
Okay.
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 Time to get our bearings back.
Yeah. Yeah. Relying on us. Actually, Farlin looks up. Take us 2 days. If you take us further around the edge of the Stygian forest, we're less likely to bump into something like the tree that we bumped into last time. It'll take us a bit longer because we'll have to fly higher and further, but it's worth us getting there without the ship or us getting destroyed. Farlin nods. Looks over and then calls out to Opal, who comes over, and then they start replotting the course. So
It's
2
better
days.
if it's better if we go in expecting a fight, and then we're prepared for
That's
one if there is.
That's what I was thinking. I don't want to run into another Sanguinis Alpinus. They're nasty things, and I don't want us to run in if we're going to have to fight. But you should get some rest. I'm not going anywhere. I promise Cacula I won't move.
You need to get some rest.
You do.
This is my crew. I'm not leaving them. Not now. Not yet.
All right.
You're not going anywhere, but you still need some sleep.
Yeah. At least
It can be
switch
this
shifts.
evening. It doesn't have to be now, but it does have to be.
I'll get some rest when we're a little bit further away from the city.
Understandable.
If you were working when they caught you, you didn't sleep before. And I don't imagine you slept much in there.
Sure, I haven't slept. That's might be true, but they're my crew. They've been through enough. They need their captain right now. Or at least for myself, I need to look like something.
Okay.
I'll be here.
For
If you
coming
need
with.
anything, you know where I am, all right?
Yes. And I appreciate that a lot. Actually, if somebody could take watch. I'm not asking Scroll to go back up yet.
I can do it.
I will
Thank
go.
you. Yes, 2 eyes are better than 1.
2 eyes are better than 1.
Yeah.
4 eyes are better than 2.
We'll have 4.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Don't ask me, my eyesight's shit.
You just keep an eye out for anything following us. I'm not asking Scroll to go back to Crow's Nest duty for a bit. Not until Tree gives me the heads up that he's feeling better. They've been through enough.
They're working on it.
Yeah, Tree's a good man. Got this thing back in order already. Okay. Thank you, all of you.
I'll go make you some tea.
I appreciate that.
Soup.
Yeah,
There
yeah,
is
thank
soup.
you. I would appreciate that too. He kind of settles back into his chair, wincing slightly. But
I'll follow Nerin downstairs and like put an arm over their shoulder, give them pat.
I wasn't
pat,
actually going downstairs. I was just telling you because I'm about to tell Luke
you're
I'm
about to go
racing.
climb up into
I was
the.
going to say,
Oh, yeah,
racing
you
to the
are.
top.
My
Crow's nest.
short-term memory is so small.
Yep.
I like the idea of Cacula coming over like, poor Nerin, and Nerin's like, I'm going to be there, and she's gone.
Nerin's like, meow.
Pizzazz, drama, speed.
As we walk off, I'll
Nerin's,
whisper.
Nerin's like sprinting up the crow's nest, and Cacula's just falling behind, like, I'll get you some tea. Like, no, he wasn't
Get you
following a
some
ladder.
Yep.
Okay, well, I will
Cacula's
go
like,
down to the
"Run
kitchens and get
away!"
tea then.
This isn't downstairs.
Yep. Okay, so Luther and Nerin are going to the crow's nests. Cacula's going down to the kitchens. Hathor, Kitto, what are you doing?
I've got a long list of stuff I want to
Are you
do.
gonna start
Yeah.
identifying those things? That's fine. Okay, you can do that on the deck. That won't be a problem. Kitto?
We'll also stay up on the deck for now.
Okay.
And like, does Frostlion look at all like he wants to talk about anything? Or be distracted by things?
Yeah, he looks like he's in pain a lot of the time, and he looks like he's trying to just stare out over the horizon in a very kind of like stare into the void kind of way.
Yeah. In which case, Kitto will get out his violin and start talking to him about music.
Okay, yeah, he will latch onto that as a topic and just talk to you about notes and composition and the
He's
way
going to ask
he
him
was composing.
like where he learned, what he learned first. Does he play the violin? And talk to him about how he's a bit crap.
Wait, Frostline's a bit crap? Give the guy a
No,
break.
no, Kitto's a bit
Frostline's a
crap.
bard. Frostline is very good.
Yeah, Kitto is he's real mediocre.
Yeah. Frostlion does play the violin. He plays the flute and the songhorn as well. And he's a bard, so he's quite good at it. Yeah, he's very happy to talk to you about composition. He did learn the flute first, though he prefers he does prefer the violin as a natural instrument. He enjoys the way the music scales. So yeah, that's
Kitto will just take
he is
that
happy
and
to
run.
talk to you about that.
Yeah.
Very fair.
In a way that might
Okay.
be blatant, but like, oh, shut up, Astrid. Sorry.
Exactly, that's what I said. But yeah, no, that's very fair. Out of interest, does anybody recognize the music that's currently playing?
Is it? I should,
Yes.
because I recognise the sound font. It's either from Phoenix Wright or Chrono Cross, one or the other.
It is Phoenix Wright, and it's the detention center from Trials and Tribulations.
Is it?
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
because I knew it sounded like a detention center, but
Yeah.
it wasn't the first
It
one.
is. No, it's the third game, detention center.
I was like, this gives me detention center energy, but it's not
It
the first
is.
game. Yeah.
The first one is not sad enough. The third one is just really tragic for third game reasons. Anyway, we will flip
Very
back
good.
to the actual
Good
Sky
energy.
Tower trial music. Okay, so Luther, Nerin. No, actually, we'll come back to you guys. We'll start with Cacula. You're heading down to the kitchens, yes?
Yeah, I'm just gonna make some tea. I'll start by just making 1 cup of tea, and then if I find the cabinet with all of the cups, I'll be like, right, this is my job now.
When you go in, Cassandra is back at her usual post and looks up from where she appears to be stirring Nerin's stew and hi. She looks fine. She looks a little drained. And roll insight actually on Cassandra for me.
23.
Wow, she looks a little out of it, as though she isn't quite sure about everything that's going on. Everything seems just a little bit off for her. And she kind of blinks, trying to focus.
Hello, are you all right?
Yeah, just I don't remember all that much, which
Did you go?
is never a good sign.
Do you remember being hit in the head at all?
Oh no, I wasn't. I briefly possessed, perhaps. It's fine.
Right.
It's not
Okay.
you. It's fine.
All right. Well, I was going to make some tea. Would you like some?
Yes, that sounds good. I actually will appreciate some. The captain, Taran's too. Big fan of loose leaf tea. Yes. And she kind of shakes her head and is like, okay, cool, let's go.
Peppermint, all right.
Peppermint is good. Yes.
I will druid craft lots and lots of peppermint, and then dry it.
Make peppermint tea.
I will fast dry it with my other cantrip that I can't remember the name of right now.
Produce flame.
Produce flame. Boom!
Yeah.
I'm a lean mean tea making machine. And then into Hathor's. Into Hathor's. Yeah. Into Hathor's and Frost Lions. And Opal's. I'm gonna make Opal some tea, whether he'd like some or not. I'm gonna bring some to him. I will put a little bit of like any kind of herbs I know that can help like ease pain and things like that.
Poppy would be the thing that you'd be using.
Thank you. Yes, I will
drugs.
put some poppy. I will.
Yeah, opium. You're basically just giving them opium. I mean, poppy seed is
only a little bit.
Like weed.
No, you couldn't use druidcraft to craft weed.
Why not? Why not, Alex?
I'm not starting this. This is not happening.
It's not legal. It's not legal in Utopia.
It is legal in
medical
Utopia.
purposes.
It just doesn't grow anywhere.
I think
not stopping
It
us.
doesn't grow anywhere.
It grows deeper in the forest. Yeah.
I think that if I found it, I would be able to druid craft it, but it's Cacula, so he wouldn't.
Okay.
He could.
I just didn't want to start this precedent for Jake, to be honest.
Wait, why?
Because
Still,
the druids in Jake's campaign absolutely would have no problem doing that all the time.
Yeah. That's because they're druids.
Yeah.
It's
It's fine. We don't drink alcohol, but we do definitely get high. It's fine. So, Cassandra helps you out, and she starts to like come back to herself a bit more as you go on. She just seemed a little bit phased at first, and now seems better. Hathor, are you identifying those items?
Yes, ritually casting identified, please.
You believe they're already in your handouts.
Thank you.
Yep, they are. Belt of Health, Trident of Certain Death, and Poisonous Pistol.
A belt of health. You attune to this belt. And your maximum hit points are increased by 7. Additionally, when you are healed by magical means, you automatically gain +2 extra hit points. Trident of Certain Death, +1 magical weapon, versatile, melee ranged, 1d8 damage. When you damage a creature with an attack using this magical weapon, the target can't regain hit points until the start of your next turn. And a pistol, 1d10 dex plus 2d10 poisoning damage to misfire.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna look at all this stuff. Immediately know who I'm giving that belt to. Look at climbing the thing and then go.
throw it up.
If Nerin notices, Nerin
you
will
just
run
gonna
down
yell,
and run
Luther!
up again.
Yeah, I'll just
Okay.
yell Luther and
Let's
You
stick my
can go
head
down.
under.
you just looking over.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm not coming up. Come down.
Who's gonna watch the? Aleks, slide
Nerin is
down.
sat right
Taxi.
next to you.
Nerin will come down because Nerin's not as competent at looking anyway because he's short.
All right.
If you don't want it, then I'll keep it,
No,
and
no,
we'll
but
never find out
I'm
what it
gonna
is.
jump down. I'm not gonna jump down.
Okay, yeah, you can get down.
He's gonna jump down. He's gonna be like, fine.
Yeah.
Himself
Do not
off.
jump the 10-foot drop between the crow's nest.
I could do that.
Like climb it
Yeah.
like a normal person.
10 foot?
I could
10
do
foot.
that.
No, that's
I was
not
gonna
how
say
high a
that's
crow's
mini and a
nest is.
half. That's a
Brain
total crow's
thinking.
nest.
That's
Brain.
not very high.
I was like, wait a second, this isn't how tall the crow's nest is.
This isn't
20
the crow's nest. This is the
foot.
kids.
It's more like
crack.
20, 25 foot. Yeah, 25 foot is the crow's nest.
Ruth, you're horny.
I'm not. I'm not. Leave me alone. No, you.
I okay, anyway, besides that, you can come down from the crow's nest.
Look, if I fall off that thing, I'll fucking die. I'm not doing that.
So will I.
I'll be more dead. Here, take your
Oh.
fucking belt.
Thank you. What's it do?
Makes you not go down as much.
That would come in very handy. Thank you.
It's a don't die belt. Boosts
gonna
your
give him a return,
constitution.
uh.
It'll make you be able to take more and more hits.
That's good. That's my fighting style. I've got nothing to give him in return though.
Honestly,
I'll just pull out the lighter. Just smoke.
I do now.
Very well. I will light Hathor a match and climb back up.
Okay. You can attune to the belt.
Mhm.
Brilliant. I don't even know
which
where I
I've
got this
also
lighter
put.
from.
And your thing, which mechanically will increase your max hit points by +7, and when you are healed by any magical means, you will gain extra hit points.
Brilliant.
Yep, you're welcome. I don't think anyone can technically use the pistol or the trident.
No.
No.
But you can sell them at some
Yeah.
point. They were just there, the weapons that they were using.
Yeah,
A
it's
trident might be a funky, fresh thing to give to Frost Lion if we can.
Frostlion
probably
also
not.
can't use it.
Okay.
Yeah, but it would look cool, wouldn't it?
It would
Like,
look cool.
Captain
I mean, it
standing
would
at the
say
front of the
consider.
ship.
Yeah.
It would look cool.
It's also the weapon he got tortured with.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you're giving it back to
forgot
him.
about
That's
that.
kind of a little
Never
bit.
mind. Never mind. Look, my brain went, cool, pirate weapon, okay? I ain't
used it.
saying it was a smart decision. I'm just saying it's what I did.
Okay.
If we think it's traumatic, though, then why has Hathor just been carrying it around?
I mean, Hathor hadn't
Very
identified it.
stressed.
He doesn't have any
Yeah.
pockets.
No, he doesn't.
Oh
need to get
no,
you a robe
Ruth
with
is gone.
pockets. He's really offended.
Oh no, we lost Luther.
Baby.
Hola.
Dola. Oh,
Oh,
he says
I love her.
Wi-Fi went kaput, gonna reset the router.
Yep. We'll just
She's
wait for
very-
Jake to,
She's.
Do you wanna
she's
pause the
trying to
recording,
loaf,
Bruce?
But her leggies decided.
because everybody is back. Hello. We're all
Yeah.
back. Things going. We've had our break. Things are up. Okay, so also mechanically you guys can take a short rest, by the way.
Not a long
Which I
rest.
thought you would appreciate.
Thank you.
Not yet. We'll get to a long rest. in a bit.
Terrifying behavior,
Short
Alex.
rest first.
I want
Start
some
there.
HP.
I think I'll roll.
We'll
some
start
hit
with a
dice then.
short. I also need Nerin and Luther to roll me perception for your lookout on the crow's nest.
Let me do my HP first.
Yep, that's fine.
Is that plus your con as well? I always get it confused with.
It's
Yeah,
push a com once overall, not
Okay,
for each dice.
that's good. I'm okay with that. Right. I can do math. 32 and perception. Yeah.
Yes, perception, please, for both you and Nerin.
Why did I struggle with 10 plus 22? Jesus Christ, what's wrong with me?
Read that.
Mood.
Oh, that's cobbled. Oh, 21.
Hmm?
22.
Good, good,
So am I.
good, good.
Equal to or less than half your wizard level rounded up.
Okay. And Nerin perception is 30, is 11. Okay. Anybody else rolling hit dice? Roll my hit dice and things for you, please, guys.
I have rolled
Okay, cool.
I don't
You-
need to.
Scooby did.
all right for some.
All right for some, isn't it? Some
Indeed,
people
indeed.
ended on 1 hit point, Hathor.
Sorry. Do I add my con modifier to all of them?
Yeah,
Just once overall.
Yeah.
Just
I was getting
one.
mixed up.
Okay. Are you doing injury mechanics now, DM?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. I haven't been injured
They
yet.
are sneakily hidden. I will briefly show them to you. Can you see them? There they are. There they
Train
are.
and injury
but-
mechanic.
They will not start yet. You're
Okay. Oh.
I'm not cruel enough to start injury mechanics in the middle of an arc, and I only wrote them this week. So dream and injury mechanics. Dream mechanics probably will come into play this long rest. Injury mechanics will not come into play until next arc, until level 7.
Okay. Someone let your class into artificer because
You're
Luther's going to
kind
need
of
a
benevolent.
wheelchair.
This is why I'm worried about inputting injury mechanics.
See, the thing is, it's great. You would put injury mechanics and it does double the damage because it will put Luther permanently in a wheelchair forever, probably
Yeah.
with no arms. And emotionally, you cannot imagine the stress
kill
Cacula will be
Cacula.
under. Yeah.
Yep.
Eldenheim, it will be old home. He'll be going to one.
Yeah. Those of you who are spellcasters will notice that the last stand is now in your handouts.
Mhm.
So should you desire to do dumb things and cast over your spell slot limit, there is now mechanics for that. It will probably kill you, but you can do it.
Thanks, Alex. No, I'm
You're
kidding. Thanks
welcome.
anyway.
I don't think I'm going to do that with my 2 spell slots.
Yeah, okay, Luther, it's just kind of there because you're a spellcaster. I didn't bother
Yeah.
putting it in either Nerin's or Kitto's, but you are welcome to it if you'd like to read it because it's fun and I built it.
It's so. Can I read
That's
it to
pretty
you
cool.
right now? Because like
go
you
for
get
it.
to the beginning and you're like, okay, that's not too bad. That's really cool, well balanced. And you get to the end, you're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Go for
So,
it.
once you are out of spell slots, you can make a last-ditch attempt. You can cast spells over the limits of slots, but in doing so, you sacrifice your own health and life. In casting a spell, you take 3d12 damage, and you lose hit dice equal to the spell level cast. You must make a con save, DC 10 plus spell level. On success, you gain 1 point of exhaustion, 2 on a failure. Additionally, roll 1d12 and the level of the spell, plus the spellcasting modifier. Your max hit points are permanently reduced by this. It cannot be undone.
It's not meant for you to not. It's called the last stand for a reason.
Do you have to be able to cast spells to be able to make a last stand?
You
No,
do.
And I do it anyway.
Fireball.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I high key love the like example because I'm like, oh, my boy is in a D&D example. Like I feel like I'm reading this out of like I've scrolled through the player handbooks and there's Hathor as the example in.
Yeah, the example says Hathor casting a 4th level spell takes 3d12 damage, loses 4 hit dice permanently, makes a DC 14 con save, reduces his max hit points by 1d12 plus 4 plus 4.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing magical means includes my undying gimmick.
It does, yes.
Cool.
I can cast a spell.
Radiant Sunbolt.
Burning Hands.
Burning
Oh,
Hand,
yeah.
yes, but because that
cantrip
doesn't
though,
use
isn't it?
spell slots. No, it's a 1st level, but it
Oh.
doesn't use spell slots. It uses key, so you can't cast over anyway. So I didn't give it to you. It's the same as I didn't give it to Kitto, despite him also having innate spells, because again, they're not spell slots. This is about being able to expand.
Light.
Yeah. Also, you can cast light, which is
I'm
a
going to
cantrip.
sacrifice myself over a warm glow. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Hey, if
So
we might be fighting a vampire, hang on. This could come in handy.
Yeah, yeah. It was a fun mechanic. Both Mikawai and Mooney helped with this, so I appreciate both of them very much. Mikawai tried to make it nicer, and I was like, no, I want to kill them with it. And he was like, oh, okay, you're fine then. So, you know, Mikawai tried to make it nicer. Mooney made it worse because he's like that.
That's what he's like. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's what
he's like that. TM.
He's like that, TM. But Mikawai did try and be like, well, you could remove the like damage, the max hit point damage, and just have them lose hit dice. And I was like, oh, I could do both. And he was like, that's really cruel. And I was like, yeah, but it's meant to be like a thing that kills them. It's like a last stand thing. And he's like, yeah, okay.
Valid. Anyway, moving on to the nonsense Aleks has planned for us.
Yours rolls. Okay, Luther, you're about 3 hours into your journey. You've just crossed the no, you're a bit longer than that. You're let's say you're maybe 5 or 6 hours into your journey now, so that's putting it at like 3 p.m. in the afternoon. You've just crossed the peak of the threshold between the sump and the Signian forest, so you're just starting to fly over trees. You're kind of flying away from, you're not flying directly south, you're flying in a kind of awkward direction, because you're trying to use more well-known routes rather than go through the completely unknown of the Signian forest to get to Torla and then actually get killed by trees. So you're just now like skirting the edge between the sump and the forest, and you notice quite suddenly that you're being followed.
Oh, that ain't good.
You've
What
got
am I
a
being followed by?
23, 22? Yeah.
20.
You're being followed by another sky
Yeah.
ship. It's bigger than the Peak Skipper, which is not surprising because most ships are. And it's looks to be steam powered. You don't recognize it. So it's not a sky ship you're aware of.
Right. I'm immediately going to just book it down and find Frostline.
He's half asleep in his chair, kind of eyes closed, slightly dozing off, but as soon as you come up,
I'll just like go up to him and just be like,
hello. Yep.
hello,
Lucy.
we have problems. Ship following us.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Farlin, get hands on deck. We're being followed. Farlin nods and moves to yell for various members of the crew. Torrans and Spirit and Kip come running up from below decks where they had been taking.
I like shout above like, Nerin, come down.
Yeah, you guys can gather up as well quite quickly. Under hearing the kind of shouts and commotion. And as Luther points out to you, you do realize that this ship is following you and is gaining on you, possibly because Frostline is resistant to push the Peak Skipper to its full capacity, concerning that the engines are still being worked on by Atri, like Atri's still trying to undo the damage, and is worried about if he does too much, he's going to damage the ship completely and or let the elementals out their cages by accident and just blow the ship to smithereens. So
Better a slow ship than no ship. That's what I always say.
Exactly. So the ship is moving at maybe half speed of its usual speed, hence why it will take so long as well.
Like my dad always said, Jake, you're being followed by pirates, run.
Yep. And kind of you notice that this ship is gaining on you quite quickly. It is soon getting into a position where there could be a position where you could actually have, you can see the ship. Everybody roll me a perception check and stop singing the Black Parade in the Roll20 chat.
Never.
Brilliant. Thank you, Nerin.
Does anyone have
Cacula.
a telescope? Does anybody have a telescope?
I feel like
Frostline has it.
yeah, I was gonna say.
Frostline or Scroll would usually have it, but Frostline has it.
Are we all right in perception, did you say?
Yeah, everybody perception, please.
I would suggest that Frostlion looks
That was not a
with
roll.
his telescope.
He's not stood up though, and he's not standing up otherwise.
Yeah, he's not a great angle for looking.
That ain't great. That's going to be a 10.
10, 5. Okay, so Hathor, you're the one who sees this. You see the ship coming up, and it's coming up pretty fast, and you notice it because one, it's a pretty heavy steam powered ship rather than arcane power, and it also doesn't appear to be sky pirates. There are people on board that ship who are wearing what appears to be the kind of regalia of the Black Mark.
Fuck.
What?
You see the black dots running around? Those are black clothes.
Fuck. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I don't have anything left. I don't have any spells left.
I do. Are we thinking more arson? Because I can do more arson.
Yeah, I mean, can you do arson from here?
I can do arson from 120 feet away.
Sounds
I don't
good.
know if that's going to be too close.
Do we have any cannons on the ship?
No, Kip, get us something firepower-wise. And the Furling looks up and nods. We have Kip. They're a good enough gunner to usually take out. We're not designed for. It's why we've managed to keep our head down so long. We're not really built for ship-to-ship combat.
If I try and hit the sails, will that at least fuck them over?
It may make it difficult for them to control the ship. Sails on these kind of things don't give any push, but they're used to control them, so it may make it difficult for them to turn if we move quickly. He kind of pulls a wire out of his pocket and then goes, actually, we're going to need firepower faster than you can give it to us. Come on, we're being followed. And so message has been passed down as well to try and get.
How far away are they?
You'd like to see?
Fucking no, I would not like to see, DM.
Actually, let's just not have a map.
For the last couple of hours.
I mean, I can't see.
It's pitch black.
It is pitch black.
Drop yourselves.
Nighttime.
Nope, it is not nighttime. Give it a second for me to load on my end because it's not loading on my end.
Ooh, it's black and white.
I'm out of ship.
If you put yourself
Nerin,
there, then
that's
it's
the
not
wrong
black
ship.
and white.
It's the wrong ship.
No, not on the ship with not on the ship with the right ship. On the ship without people on. There we go.
Wrong ship.
I'm coming.
Wait, I'm going the wrong way.
Oh my god. We have 3 brain cells between us.
No.
Fewer than
ship.
3, definitely.
No, it's not that way, Astrid. It's the other way.
This ship down here. Ship in the bottom corner,
I
is you
don't know,
guys.
you're saying it's the other way.
Where are you going?
Right way.
Niimi?
Where are you?
Cacula, where are you
Man
going?
overboard. Man overboard.
I just love Niimi saying, Hathor, you're going the wrong way.
Well, jumping off.
Moving.
They're over here.
Down there, and there wasn't any ship, so it's
There's
like,
a ship
well,
just here.
that's the wrong way
Okay.
then.
They are within plenty range.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
quite
got-
close at this point. You can shout to them at this point. Like they are within hearing range at this point.
You want to
Okay.
fuck off?
Are you gonna shout that?
Yeah.
That's a good idea, actually. So you shout, "Do you want to fuck off?" And the individual who stood at the front of the ship tilts his head ever so slightly. He's a half elf and kind of has one hand on a shield and one hand on a sword and tilts his head. Do we want to fuck off?
Yeah, that was the question. We were able to take out a good number of your men, and we're leaving now. Do you want to fuck off?
Roll intimidation, Kitto.
Can I at that moment take the archer and give him advantage?
Yeah.
I will say, yeah, you can. Go for it.
you.
Roll advantage.
That was a 19.
Yay.
Ooh, we'll roll insight on Ravengard. That was a 6. Yes, Ravengard.
Yes,
gonna-
good idea. We will
she's
now
gonna
fuck
fuck
off.
off.
Thank you.
It's a good point. Bye.
Who's close enough? Who? Okay. What's everyone's passive insight?
Passive insight.
Yeah. So
17.
insight modifier plus 10.
Oh, plus 4.
17.
Okay.
10.
12.
10.
Cacula. The half-elven man looks taken aback by being yelled at to fuck off, and then you notice him pause and look over at the ship name, which is kind of like scrolled on the edge of the ship in fairly fine letters, but you also know that it usually that it can sometimes have a, you remember on your first encounter it had been illusion covered. It doesn't, it isn't currently. And he tilts his head ever so slightly, recognizing the name of the ship, you think. He looks back at his crew. We're not done here. This is not the ship we're looking for, though.
So I rather think you are done, then. I'll notch an arrow. Now leave while you can.
I'll start holding a fire bolt in my hands. We're prepared to commit arson. Fuck off.
I'm made of wood, that means we're serious.
Ravengard tilts his head ever so slightly, just questioning. Glances over the people on the ship, and you've got Kip, whose rifle is in hand, following the movements, tracking, and Torrans, who's wielding a massive great axe. Looks like he's just ready to fucking throw the thing, like just straight up, like. Farlin is like one hand on the wheel, like keeping a hand on the levers, trying to give them some more power. And just as you're about to see whether or not Ravengard is going to come around and actually pull something and actually attack you guys, the ship jolts forward and moves very suddenly. I need everyone to make me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Okay.
Fine.
23.
Fine.
Very fine.
Hathor.
Oh, that's pretty good
Wait, not
dexterity.
fine.
That's not a saving throw.
Kitto does a little backflip, just, you know, for fun.
Yeah, the ship
That was
jolts as
not a
actually.
save, Hathor.
Yeah, Hathor, that wasn't a save. That was just a dex check. Roll me a save.
Oh, shit. Okay. Re-roll, buddy. I mean, it's the same thing.
Roll it anyway, because you need to roll a save, not a strike.
There we go, that's why we do it.
Yeah, that's why you do it. The ship jolts, and you realize it's the Atreys managed to kick the engines up into full gear, and suddenly the ship is moving like much faster than this ship probably could. And you all steady yourselves, but you don't fall. None of you have knocked prone, and you're all okay. And you watch as the peak skipper starts to drift much faster away from this Black Mark ship, and you watch as you go out of sight. Ravengard lifts a hand and indicates for the crew behind him to turn the ship around, and they start to move away.
Hathor will laugh at Cacula.
Can't
That
say I was
was-
expecting that to work.
That was surprisingly easy.
It's rather
We should
exhilarating.
do that more.
Yeah.
But I
We
like
should
using
tell
This
stuff.
everybody.
conflict should just be resolved like that in future.
You know, Yenin used to always say to me, Cacula, you need to be more direct about your wants and your desires and what you want to happen. And, you know, things will happen for you if you just be more direct. And I think that really puts a kick behind that advice.
Okay.
That's
I
the
just have to
best.
spit my wine back out into my glass.
Frostlion
Probably-
is bemused, and you watch as he just slightly moves his hands and casts an illusion over the ship momentarily. I can't hold that, but
I don't trust that.
Did you change the name?
no, I didn't have time.
Then they weren't looking for us.
No, they weren't. I saw it in the guard's face when he
But they-
saw the name of the ship.
They do know what ship this is, and they do know where we're going.
don't trust it. I'm with Luther. I don't trust it. Why aren't they looking for us? Why aren't they looking for us? If they're not looking for us, who are they looking for?
Are they looking for name of the village that Hathor would remember, but Astrid does not?
Tula.
Tula.
They were looking for a ship.
Yeah.
They were looking for a ship. Tula is in the ground. They're not going to
Tula
by looking for us.
Frostlion's like, they were looking for a ship.
Frostlion's like,
Usually villages are on the ground.
Frostlion's this is not.
Frostline's
the guy
like,
who
please
received all this
use your
was
brain
dyslexic.
cell.
Or
Enough
press
for the
the wrong
secret.
thing.
Hathor's benefit.
I
Pete
don't
Skipper?
like
I
it.
thought you said Seek Pippa.
I don't like it. I don't trust it.
But for now, it's helpful.
Yes.
I'll go and keep an eye out.
For them or any other ship.
Yeah. I don't mind taking watch if you want a rest at Nerin and Luther.
I think that's a good idea. I'll come with you.
Okay.
I wasn't much use anyway. I couldn't see over the edge.
And I still appreciate the company.
I was going to say.
Maybe Cassandra needs some help, perhaps.
Yes, she seemed a little vague, Nerin. I think she'd appreciate some company.
Farland straightens up at that. He's stood quite close to you guys and goes, "Oh, yeah, she was a bit out of it.
What
Defense
happened?
mechanisms. She wasn't herself. You'd have to ask her about that kind of thing. She has a habit of when things go really bad, she just releases control for a little bit.
Okay. Well,
Either way.
Cacula, shall we?
Yes.
We should keep an eye out for other ships,
There's a way
Sky
to
Pirate or
have the,
not.
we'd have the ship fly a bit lower.
Farland, take us. Farland nods. Well, we'll drop down a little bit. Try and be more careful.
Become the tree skipper for a bit.
Tree
Not
scraper.
that low, I'm
oh,
not.
No.
Nope. Not that low. We're not damaging this thing. Actually, it'll kill us.
Is there anyone else on the ship who can send messages like Cacula can? Could we ask our friends, other Sky Pirates, if there's any other ships that they might be looking for?
Yeah, none of us have that ability. I don't think Atri can do it. Or if he can, he definitely can't today. He'll have used everything on making sure the ship can still get forward. But I don't think it's not something that we've ever had the access to, I'm afraid.
I can, but it would be it would
Let's
be a
not
lot
do it
of
until we
sacrifice.
sleep.
Yeah.
No, I
that's
can
fair.
now. I just don't think it's worth it.
Let's not do it until just before we sleep.
Yeah.
But it might be good to know
Yeah.
who they are
Okay.
looking for.
Yes, that's what I agree. Right, thank you for that. It was effective, even if somewhat surprising.
You're telling me. Do you need anything right now?
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
Might go try and get some rest for a bit.
Good idea.
We'll watch everybody.
Wake me if things change.
Of course.
He struggles to his feet and then limps downstairs.
I will go to help him.
I was going to say.
We all stand there watching.
You're just like, wow, Captain's having a hard time. You can help him downstairs.
We put ourselves
We've
on
gone
the map.
on to blackness again.
No, this one shouldn't be on dynamic lighting. Give me a second, let me turn it off. It's just an aesthetic.
Yeah, I'm floating
I,
in some trees
Ah,
now.
there we go.
There you go. It's just It's just the aesthetic for the Stygian forest. Just to have
As
something
I-
to look at whilst you're.
Oh, did you delete
got
me? I want to be on the
deleted.
tree.
Yes,
We
I'm going to
got
delete you.
deleted.
Stop being on the trees.
As I follow him downstairs,
Mm.
and hold doors open for him and like
Mhm.
hover, attempting to catch him and try and help, I'll
Mhm.
just turn and say, you know, I think if you asked, Cacula would be utterly delighted to offer to Druidcraft you a walking stick for the minute. It would make him feel useful.
Okay, maybe so. It's just the ribs make movement difficult generally. Just generally, moving is harder than I would have wanted to, and breathing is uncomfortable.
That's fair. Stand straight and stand still.
Yes.
And not for too long. You've got people to prop you up.
Thank you, Hathor. I appreciate it more than anything. I'm going to go and try and get some rest and hope that some of the pain is gone when I wake up.
If I come back and find you've tried to tidy, I will kill you. Myself.
I don't doubt it. He slinks away into his chambers. Okay, so rest of the party. What are you up to?
I'm watching.
Yep, Cacula
I'm
and
eyeballing the sky.
Cacula and Kitto are on watch, which is fine. Luther and Nerin, is there any crew members you want to talk to or anything?
I am going down to the kitchen.
Mhm.
I think I will follow. Luther doesn't really want to see Opal yet, because Luther has some conflicting thoughts.
Okay, that's fine. You can go down and you do notice that a lot of the crew aren't on deck. Like most of them appear to be trying to sleep or trying to heal up or anything. And when you go down to the kitchens, Cassandra is in the kitchens, half asleep, stood up against a rack, just like head in her hands, just like half conscious, and then jolts awake when you guys come in. Oh, hi. Sorry. So
Don't be sorry. Maybe you should sit down to sleep though. I think standing up makes it a bit difficult.
yeah, everyone's trying to sleep. I gave Opal my bed. I didn't want him to be sleeping on the floor, so I just thought I'd stay here.
Is there a chair anywhere in the room?
And no, the kitchen's like a galley kitchen. It's not big enough for that. She kind of straightens up and cracks her neck. Oh, what time is it? Do I need to start preparing an evening meal? Probably. She kind of blinks. Right. Luther, right?
That's correct, yes. Do you need help in the
Opal's
kitchen?
mentioned you. Yeah, you're always welcome. Opal mentioned you a few times. In answer to the question, does Opal not have a bed? There are not enough beds for the number of members of crew because they work on rotation. So basically she's just saying that currently all of the beds are taken, and she was very much like, and people were like, go to sleep, and she was like, no, because other people need the beds more than anything. It's not specifically, it's just that they don't actually have.
I was like,
beds
Opal
upstairs.
lives there. Does Opal not have a bed?
He sleeps on
No,
the
it's just that
floor.
he
We
sleeps on the,
give him a bed.
they as a constant crew, they work on rotation, and several of them don't require beds, like Scroll and Spirit don't sleep in beds, and like that kind of thing. And usually the captain would sleep in his office upstairs, but he's downstairs for the moment.
Usually the captain wouldn't sleep.
Usually the captain wouldn't sleep. This is true. Frostline is terrible for it. But yeah, it's just that there aren't enough beds for all of the crew to sleep at the same time. And currently all of the beds are in use, basically.
Important distinction. Beds or hammocks?
Both, dependent on there are much more hammocks than there are beds. There are like 2 beds because like Torrans does not fit in a hammock because he is a minotaur and would definitely break a hammock. So there are like 2 beds for like the larger members of the crew who can't sleep in hammocks, but mainly there are hammocks. Also, some of the hammocks are smaller and some of the hammocks are bigger. So like there's one like tiny hammock which basically Atri and Clicks rotate between. And yeah, but you know, it's not a huge skyship. Sleeping quarters weren't really the top of their priority list when they built it. The engine was, so the engine room is massive and the sleeping quarters are small and they can't fit the whole crew in there at any one time. So they have a habit of sleeping rough, but we're also like at a time where that's not particularly weird. So yeah, she straightens up a bit and rubs her face and yeah, I'd love some help. You're always welcome in here, both of you. Cassandra, by the way, Lusa, I guess we haven't really been introduced.
Nice to meet you.
I'm the cook. Just here to help out. She takes a moment and flicks her fingers and a mage hand appears and she shows you to where the spices and the herbs are and starts bashing around with stuff. She still seems a little bit hazy, but she's looks more tired now rather than out of it, and is just kind of like bashing around a bit. As you got vague description from Farlin, I will say Hathor and Lusa can make Arcana checks to see if you know what's up with Cassandra.
Sure thing.
I don't know if I've been told this before in character.
We'll make an Arcana check. Okay, definitely Lusa.
No.
Hathor, you're a bit distracted. You're not focused on it that much. Lusa, seeing her and meeting her, she looks human. 1 second, I forgot Art of Cast. Apart from she's got like bleach white hair and kind of moves ever so slightly and slightly off, and you've done a little bit of like outer planar research, but not a huge amount, just enough to know about like fiends and fae and things, and you're remembering some of the discussions of the outer planes and of creatures that come from the outer planes, and you're thinking about possession, and you realize that what Farlin says makes sense if she's a Kalashtar. It's possible she let her second spirit take over and probably won't remember what the second spirit was doing. So she just, and probable that took a lot out of her, and also she's a bit kind of like hazed because she's reasserting herself again after letting the second spirit take over.
Kalashtar, right? Forgive me for prying.
Yes, I am. No, it's fine. You're a marvel yourself.
Thank you. Only just met.
Perhaps. No, yes. Yeah, I let the other one take over for a bit, so I'm still a little bit reassessing.
Oh, I can confirm that Nerin is an excellent cook, and I am on my way to being a decent cook, so he needs to take over by all means. Nerin, by the way, we're cooking food now.
Nerin is
Nerin is just in the kitchen.
Nerin is a good
this.
cook. Nerin has helped me before. Yes, I would trust them. I would trust him. I appreciate that. I might. I'm just gonna take a back seat, if you don't mind, for a bit, just until I get rid of this incredibly annoying headache.
I think
the downsides.
we had some places that we made to sleep down in the storerooms when we came with you last time. not the best, but you could go down there to rest for a bit. We can do food.
Thank you.
Or
Thank
there's
you.
a chair on the deck that Frostline isn't occupying anymore. You could sleep in that.
I'll go sleep in the storage rooms for a bit. They're usually warm and dry. Thank you for taking over. It's appreciated. She gives you a nod and pulls her hair back into a ponytail and heads out. And you are left to do the cooking yourselves. So
We're gonna make pasties, i.e. fajitas.
Brilliant.
amazing. Okay, can I have a cook's proficiency check, Nerin, with advantage because Luther is assisting?
Yes.
I am pouring way
Oh no, did we lose Jake
too
again?
much spice in.
Oh, no, you're back.
Because I poured way too much spice in. Oh,
Okay.
It's fine. You just glitched momentarily, but you're back now.
It's been doing
Naren just
it.
kind of idly goes like, I forgot the paprika this afternoon. I shouldn't do that again.
And I'm just
Luca's
there
like,
T-posing.
okay.
That
An
is
entire
a
pot of paprika.
15.
Good. Yeah, you do well. You make a good hearty meal. You make very good fajitas. Definitely enough for the whole crew. So, and they are nicely spiced because of Luther's assistance.
But they're actually Cornish pasties.
They are actually Cornish pasties.
Nerin does some work on counterbalancing how many chilies Luther puts in there.
Nerin doesn't. Why would Nerin counterbalance anything? Nerin's
Nerin
like,
is
he
a thief
as well,
dyed
so-
dough red too.
Nerin's a tiefling. Like Nerin must be good
Yeah.
for like hot things.
I
Yeah.
feel like it should have been at disadvantage because of Luther's health. It's supposed to be
Absolutely.
It's only, but we like spicy food, so it's fine.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
can't handle it, then they don't deserve to be a
You
sky
just have
pirate,
to
in my
make a
opinion.
con save if you're Niimi.
Yeah, which you're
No,
not.
Cacula. Cacula's fine. If you're Niimi,
Cacula's
the
also a
human person.
Yep.
Just don't turn up on the ship, Niimi.
Even to be in a discussion about these pasty, I'm making content.
While we're cooking though, Luther does want to say something.
Go for it.
It's
Sorry.
like, is it weird that I enjoyed last night? Rescuing the Sky Pirates. I know I shouldn't, I know they could have died, but I did enjoy it. I enjoyed the bravado. That's a bit weird, isn't it? It's a bit...
I think you do enjoy things after the fact.
It wasn't after, it was during. Did you see me against that Minotaur? I went crazy.
I didn't. I don't tend to see much. I don't know if it's weird.
It's just Opal
I
could have
mean-
died, and at the time I didn't care. I just wanted to save the day.
I mean, if you wanted to save the day, that is not wanting Opal to die. That is, I don't think you could have not cared if you were hoping to save the day.
Maybe. I'm gonna like pour like some extra spice and like, shouldn't have said that, I spoke way too much. Have some spice extract.
Very fair. Okay. Rest of you. Cacula, you did roll that in perception check, did you not?
Mm-hmm. That's
Kitto,
for
do you
my
also want to
vision.
roll one?
Oh,
I
I
was
feel
just
like I don't need to, but I
enthusiastic.
will.
You-
Oh, that's a 27 as well.
Oh, okay,
I rolled a
you
19
see
at April.
really good.
We see each
Both
other.
of you see each other deeply, emotionally, truthfully. Like you keep a really careful eye on the surroundings, on everything behind you, but nothing. You don't see any more ships. You don't see any dangerous trees like the Sanguina alpinus that you saw last time. Just the Stygian forest stretching out as far as you can see to the south and the east and the west, and behind you the sump and the city.
Can we have a chat, or is there not time for chats?
There is
Permission to talk.
Always
No,
time for
always
a chat.
time for
I don't
chats.
know. I
What
know that
question?
Alex doesn't want the session. We want to get to a certain point a little bit.
Yeah, but we're only at like 9:15, so you're good.
Okay. Permission to talk has been granted.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I think I'm all right. Comparatively, I'm very, very all right.
Well,
I'm a little tired, frankly, but other than that, I'm all right. I'm still. I'll be straight with you. I'm still reading a little. I think the adrenaline from the narrow encounter, and then they just left. I'm still going on that a little bit. I'm still.
I really wasn't expecting that to work. I should do that more often.
You've done a lot of impressive things, Kitto. But I have to say that was very up there. I think
that was my peak. I think I've peaked and it's all downhill from here.
No. I think it's more that you've unlocked a power now that can't be contained.
Yeah. But are you holding up all right? I know it's, I don't know, a lot. And then you're the healing person, and there's lots of hurt people. There was a lot of hurt people.
True. I don't know. There's only so much I can do really without the magic, and that's not the most encouraging, but I'm happy I was able to help at all, and Frostline is actually listening to me, so
He is in his chair. Glances down
exactly.
to make sure he's still in his chair.
In bed, even.
Aleks, is he still in his chair?
He's gone to bed. He's in his
Okay.
bed. It's okay. He's gone to bed.
And grab the chair. Frostline, now.
Where are you? No, he's in his
Runs
bed.
into his room carrying the chair. Yeah, you did a good job.
Thank you. So I'll be fine. I just need some sleep.
Yeah.
How about you?
It's weird and hard, but it's okay. I don't know, it's not the first time I've been running through the city in a panic after the Black Mark, after the Sky Pirate. But it's okay, it's fine.
It's I know we had a few days, and I'm very grateful for that. But it has seemed things really just keep happening, don't they?
Things happen all the time.
They do. It's a little strange, I have to say. For so many years, it was just me in my house with my books, or in a lecture with my books. Or at the dinner table with my books. You get the picture. It was a lot of me.
You were with your books, it was you and
with
your
my
books.
books. It was me and my books, exactly. And I don't think I'm quite used to other people and things happening. The nearly dying is new, but I can't say that I'd lose it if it meant losing everything else. Losing you and everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never really had friends as well. I mean, it's different. Of course there was Galio, of course there was. This is different. So, yeah. We'll be all right.
We will. And we'll be all right together.
Yeah.
God, there's a lot of mist.
It is not. It's slowly coming now towards evening, and yeah, it's not as easy to see as you would like. But you still keep a fairly
double
careful.
27s.
Yeah, you keep a very, very careful eye out, so you're okay.
54 between the two of us.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
baby.
Even with the light fading, you're doing fine. Hathor, what are you up to?
Sorry, just a combined perception check is more than my hit points.
Brilliant. Hathor,
Your
as the only
perception
other member of the party.
Individually are currently more than my hit points.
Yeah, your hit points are bad right now, so
I'm fine
Yeah.
now. I'm good to go. Bloodhunter.
last thing for
Completed it now.
Hathor, and then you will get a short rest, I promise. Long rest, I promise.
Who's about currently?
The crew or the party?
These two are upstairs. Those two are in the kitchen. Who's
Just
on
the
the
crew.
deck currently?
Who's on the deck? Who's on the deck currently? Farlin is steering. Kip is also on deck, keeping an eye out, still gun on hand, kind of nervously, keeping a careful eye out. Opal actually also is on deck. He has just come up from below decks. Had been
Somebody
sleeping.
outside screaming. Sorry.
Looks okay.
Me.
Looks ruffled like he's just been sleeping, but kind of stumbles out onto the deck just to get some air. Yeah, so you've got Farlin and Kip and currently, for the moment, Opal. Oh, and Khan Nassa is the current third hand on deck.
How am I going to think about it? And go, fuck it. And climb up the mast and go and talk to Cacula and Kitto.
Okay. Roll me acrobatics. Yeah, you get up the mast fine.
Look down at both of them and go, don't judge me. Try and get in the middle of them and pull them both in for a really tight hug and just sit there for a minute.
Yes. Kitto will lean in and just like, yes.
Okay, that's better.
You alright?
Yeah, no, just like 6 hours of stress now. I'm like coming off the high. I'm shaking.
Yeah.
I was just saying to Kitto, everything happens all the time.
It's so... Can it not?
I know.
Every day I get emails.
You don't know what emails are!
You know what? One day, we'll figure it out, and I'll get my house back, and then there's so many rooms. You could all come and live with me in my house if you wanted to, or just come stay sometimes. And there's a big dining room and a lovely warm kitchen. Sorry, I just read Luther's voice as well, 20. And we can all sit in the big overstuffed armchairs that are still too big for me, even though I'm now no longer 6 years old, and be quiet.
You say that, you're taller than both of us.
I know.
How big
I
is this
really-
armchair?
It is.
I cannot emphasize to you how large these armchairs are. I truly cannot convey
Who
their
built
immense
for a
size.
Goliath?
Wait, I think
I don't know.
I remember them from when I. Yeah.
I know. It's ridiculous.
What's the point?
I don't know. I mean, in my memory, my father was quite a tall man, but I was very young and small. And objectively, he can't have been tall enough to warrant them.
We will go have to test them out.
We shall.
Wide
We shall.
or tall?
Both. Somehow both.
Somehow both.
You'll see. You'll see one day.
Yeah. Okay, I want another hug.
Hug granted.
Hug granted. So, as evening comes, slowly the crew of the Peak Skipper start to look less like they're falling apart.
Oh, is that long rest time?
Yes. And you guys in the kitchen actually, so Lucer and Nerin, you whip up some food, and as you're just finishing up, there's a quiet clank behind you, and you turn around because the kitchen is connected to the engine room. The engine room door opens in the back of the kitchen. It's like a galley kitchen with doors at either side, and the engine room door opens at the back. And out of the kitchen, out of the engine room comes Spirit and Scroll. And Scroll's faceplate is reattached to their face.
Can Warforged eat?
Yeah, I was going to ask that.
They physically can, yes. It doesn't assist them in any way, shape, or form, but they physically can do it, yes.
Like
Did
heater?
it- Yeah. Like Nerin on the left, Luther on the right.
Sure. I mean, I'm afraid we can't appreciate the taste. We don't
They
have
put some
taste buds.
spice in it.
We don't have taste buds.
You can just tell us it's delicious anyway.
Yes.
We can
'cause
do
of
that.
it. Yeah.
I'm sure.
Better!
Spirit takes them and rips one in half and gives one to Scroll, who takes a bite, and they look appreciative of being involved, but they don't physically have the ability to taste anything. And kind of we're gonna go back to our post. If you see the captain, you can let him know.
Sure thing.
Atrium there.
Yes, he is. He's still worried about pushing the ship too hard. The engines are still a little sensitive, he says, but he's in there.
Can the heaters go in the engine room?
Actually, will appreciate them. Yes.
I will do that.
Okay. Spirit kind of nods and heads out. Scroll hasn't spoken in the entire time. Obviously, he's been speaking to them. They still seem pretty shaken, but they now look better again, with their faceplate reattached. And they head up on top of deck, and Nerin, you head in, and Atri is very happy to take a fajita and eats it in like 2 bites. It's just like bam, bam, and then he's like back casting, mending, and fiddling with things, and it's like, thank you very much. If you've got one more, would be brilliant. Just kind of running on empty right now. And you realize that Atri's probably not slept in the last like 30 odd hours and is just still going. It's just like absolutely still going to try and put everything that he's got into this.
I will take another one and add extra chili to the top of it. I think you need chili
appreciate
for
that.
energy.
He's also a red kobold, so he's fire resistant, so he appreciates the heat. And he just devours it and continues a million times an hour.
He's so little, those bites must have been huge.
Yeah, I know. It's just like, he's massive. He's got big jaws, right? He's
Where
a little
did
boy
it
with
go?
his massive jaws. Yeah.
Only a cat can relate to. Like my spicy dish.
So I would presume the two of you slowly distribute food among the rest of the
I
crew.
like the idea that we go around the entire boat holding just one at a time.
Yeah, we have to run back and then go back.
Yeah. Everybody takes
Like a
them.
mini game.
You don't
It's a race.
you don't Frost Lion is still out cold. So unless you wake him, he won't
I
eat.
won't wake anyone.
Yeah, okay.
Oh wait, when's he last eaten? Would I know?
He hasn't eaten in the time you've seen him.
Can leave it on the bed.
Don't leave it on the bed.
No, I
no
mean
one's-
next
Leave
to the
it
bed.
in the oven.
My mouth said on the bed.
Working through
My
the night.
brain meant in his room.
It's been more than 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Is there like a bit of like paper, like a note I could like tear off and then write something down? Just
Yeah, definitely.
eat some spicy paprika, Captain. It's in the oven, and I'll just like put it above like his forehead, and then
Yeah, okay. He's absolutely out cold. But yes, he will get the note when he wakes up.
He wakes up, tries to sit up. It's just
I
like,
can't believe you had the opportunity to stick something on Frostlion's head and that was all you did. There were so
mean,
many more things.
this
you
is
could have
why
done.
Nerin and
Been
Luther
through
are the
enough.
ultimate chaos combination.
He's been through enough. Yeah, you find pretty much the rest of the crew, like all of the rest of the crew, are in varying states of getting up and moving around and switching over. So you catch some of them coming off duty and some of them going on duty. So some of them above deck and some of them below deck.
I would guess.
Opal and Kip and everyone are all kind of.
I would guess that last we take them up to the crow's nest.
Yeah, actually, before
Crow's
you're
Nest
taking them
gang.
up to the crow's nest, because
paprika.
the crow's nest gang are there.
Can be
The
hard
crow's
to
nest gang are
balance.
disturbed.
CNG.
Yes, it would be hard to balance whilst you are climbing. The crow's nest gang are disturbed
I feel like I can do it though.
about
Put one
halfway
on each
through
horn.
by the clatter of metal and Spirit's head pops up over the crow's nest and goes, "Would you mind if we?"
Oh, not at all.
During the hug.
Yeah. Oh no!
Wiggle out.
Thank you. Spirit takes a moment, turns back around, and has a quiet, brief conversation in Cortan with Scroll, who doesn't reply. Which Hathor, you get the gist of, is generally like, it's okay. I know you want to do your job. Let's just settle down. It'll be fine. And Scroll just doesn't say anything in response. But both of them climb up into the crow's nest.
I'll say enjoy in Cortan as I head back down. Nice to see both of you.
Spirit's jaw creaks into a smile, into a slight thankful motion, and settles down next to Scroll. And as you climb down, Lucer and Nerin come out with their fajitas in hand, ready to give them to you.
These two both got one. Do you want hugs? I want hugs.
Sure. I'm gonna try and hug while still holding the paprika.
Yeah, you managed to do both.
T-pose.
T-pose hug.
Do you like a paprika, anyone?
Oh, yes, please.
Does Luther tell him it's spicy? Luther does not tell him it's spicy.
It's real spicy.
I imagine Rosanna likes spicy food,
Yeah.
so Hathor's caught
Rosanna
off
does like spicy food.
upset. Cacula.
Cacula's a
He's a
tiefling. Cacula would be
tiefling.
fine.
He's not me.
I don't know. Kitto, do you like spicy food? Here's the question.
I think he wants to like it more than he does.
Yeah. It catches you off guard. It's real spicy.
He's trying to look like it's not.
He's like welling up a little bit.
Can I roll
It's like-
insight on that?
Yeah, go for it. Roll deception. Roll
will.
deception, Kitto. Roll insight, Lucer. Ooh, good insight.
16.
Oh, Lucer beats you with an 18.
Rough.
Would you like another bite, kiddo?
Yeah, thank you. And he will take more and eat more.
Oh, I love it. Kitto's just like, yeah, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. Everything's fine. But yes, unless there's anything else you guys want to do, you bed down for the evening. Okay. So everybody gets a long rest.
Give me my long rest.
You've got your long rest. Go to sleep. You've got
Father?
your long rest.
Give me my
Yes.
spell back.
Because elves don't sleep, we were just going to munch on Creeper until like it gets to his meditation time.
Yeah, and then just meditate. Actually, that's a good point, Lisa. You have a bit more time if there's anything else you want to do.
I'm good. I'm still like, Opal could have died. Was really enjoying smashing windows and killing people.
Yep.
Probably not best to see him at the moment.
Very fair. Okay, so
Mhm.
restore half of all hit dice. Yes.
Rounding up or rounding down?
Rounding up, I believe.
Cool.
Hit dice. Yes.
Mechanical question: is it half of your max hit dice or half of the current?
Half of the hit dice you used. Yeah,
Okay.
half of the current you're missing.
So if I was on 2 hit dice, I would, because I'd used 4, I would restore another 2.
Rather than 3. Yeah. Yeah, it's half of hit dice used rather than hit dice max. Okay.
I didn't
So-
use all, but you know.
Time for a new bit of fun. I need everybody to roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay, Aleks.
You went through
I
an
mean, that
incredibly
with an
stressful day.
X.
You are definitely having nightmares. Oh, failure for
That's
Hathor.
Aleks with an X to clarify.
Oh, fucking shit.
Fuck off. Amazing.
You've
Failure
got
for
to do it,
Nerin.
and I don't like it.
The thing is, I have yet again
Cacula?
created a character. Okay, that's not
Failure.
great. Yay! I was
That's a
gonna say
failure.
I'm worried that I've yet again made another character who cannot have nightmares mechanically.
Mechanically, after a stressful day, the whole party roll wisdom saves against nightmares. The DC is base 13 unless exacerbated. If they roll a 5 or below, they gain a point of exhaustion. So,
Ooh.
Nerin,
Oh no.
whilst you
Bippy.
reset all of your things, so your hit points are reset and your spell slots and all of that, well, not your spell slots, but like your key and everything is reset, you do gain a point of exhaustion. Lusa, you go into trance easily, no issues. You just, and Kitto, you pass out without issue. Cacula, Hathor, Nerin, you struggle on yes, it is disadvantage on general checks. You struggle a lot to sleep. You struggle to find a spot that's comfortable, and you struggle to find a place that makes you feel at all at ease. Everything is still too on edge. There's too much going on. Too many people could have died. And when you do sleep, it's restless and terrified, and you wake up with dreams of you not being there in time. Cacula, you dream of the gunshot to Opal's head, and you're too late. Opal's dead. You can't do anything. You're too late. Nerin, you dream of the trident piercing your chest, and you wake up gasping for air, unable to go back to sleep. You end up barely sleeping for the night. Hathor, you dream of looking through Cheese's eyes, of trying to find things, and then pain, sudden white, and you can't see anything, you don't know where you are, and you're alone, and you're afraid. And you wake up panicked. And it's just stressful for the entire evening. Hathor and Cacula, there are no mechanical penalties. You didn't roll low enough for mechanical penalties, but you don't sleep well. The next morning comes bright and cold and icy. Nerin and Lusa are the first ones up. It's still holding on to the edges of winter just a little bit. It's early it's like mid-spring, but today feels cold. You're not sure if it's just your imagination or if there really is a chill in the air. But slowly you all come to. The ship moves and bustles around you. Frostlion is conscious and back in his chair. And Fenrir currently actually is at the helm. Farlan is asleep. And Fenrir currently has his... Are you going to ask him if he's eaten? You are welcome to do so. He did eat, yes. He was... Yes, I'd noticed you'd gone silent. It's no worries. Did your headphones die again for us? We cry. That's fine. So you but you wake up, all of you, and yes, Fenrir is currently flying the ship. Farlan is sleeping, and the ship is kind of quietly moving around you. You have a day if there's anything you want to do. You'll reach Tula in the evening.
So, like, as soon as I see Frost Lion up and about, I am going to, like, sit him down and do some magical healing on him if he's okay with that.
He's mechanically at full hit points, so unless you have regenerate or something like that, you can't undo his... You can't undo the damage done. Lesser restoration wouldn't heal something like this. It's bone breakage. If there was nerve damage, you could possibly use it, but this is bone.
Okay.
Please.
Kitto will make sure he eats something.
I want to check upon Opal.
Okay.
Yeah, I will catch Luther as he leaves to go and do that and just say, I prepared lesser restoration. I don't know if it would help, but I read that it can repair nerve damage sometimes, and
it's always worth a shot.
It's something to offer him if he'd like it.
Sure thing. I'm going to visit him now if you want to visit. Come with, I mean.
Sure, I'll just put my head in.
Okay. You find Opal below decks. And he's in the storage room. He's pulled out one of the crates and is currently got a map spread out across it with Tula's position marked on it, and is just quietly trying to work out how far things are from each other. And he looks up. His hearing is still pretty good because he's a cat. Hey.
How are you? Hey, how are you holding up?
Yeah. I'm fine. Did you want something, Cacula?
Yes, sorry. I just wanted to offer, I've prepared lesser restoration today. I don't know if it would actually make any difference, but I've read that it can help repair nerve damage.
You're welcome to give it a try.
All right. Thank you. I'd like that. And I also bought fresh bandages and some fresh herbs. The ones I used yesterday, in case you'd like to use it again, at least to help the skin heal.
Go ahead.
Cool. Okay, I'm going to try a lesser restoration then.
Okay.
Boop.
Yeah. Technically, this does cure the condition blinded, but...
Yeah, being blinded with a capital
being
B
blinded
and being
magically
blinded with a lowercase b is different.
Yeah. Being blinded magically is one thing. Having your eye destroyed is a completely different one. And you lay your hands on Opal and you know it's not going to work, but you're going to try anyway. It's less that there's nerve damage and more that there is no way the damage to the eye is too much. It's been destroyed.
Yeah, I mean, I thought as much, but I was like, would Cacula still try anyway? Yes, he would.
I know he would. Exactly. That's why I was willing to let you. Opal is willing to let you rebandage his face and try. And once you have done so, he kind of looks up at Luther. Cacula, if you'd give us a moment, I'd appreciate it.
Of course, no, that was all I wanted to do, really. I'll leave you. There's tea in the kitchen if you want it.
Yes, in a bit. He gestures for you to come and sit opposite him.
Up.
You've been avoiding me.
Just thought you wanted some time alone. You and I'm like my antics.
I do. I always appreciated them. Your candid nature.
Okay.
The captain will keep me here, keep me on, even if I
That's
can't
good.
navigate anymore. He's a good man. But I am quite useless, Luther.
No, I don't think so. As a navigator, your skills have decreased, but your hearing's still extraordinary. You could be a scout. It only takes some training.
I don't know what to do in this position. I've been a sky pirate all my life, you know this. And I've been running myself into danger just as long as I've been alive. You also know this. This is the way the ship worked. And I am suddenly in a position where I can't do that anymore. I can't do the things that I was good at. How do I continue to feel of use to my crew?
Sort of valued
Give use
asset
to
to them. Frostlion would have kept you on if you didn't think that you couldn't contribute in some way. Losing your eye is not the end of the world.
Maybe you're right.
But
Maybe you're right.
you've already been a hero enough. If you want to pack it up, do something else, I understand.
What else would I do, Luther?
How long do tabaxi live for? Hear me out.
100 years? I don't
100
know.
years. It takes 1 year to be good at any skill. 5 years and the best has ever been if you keep practicing. You have plenty of time to figure that out.
You and your 25 years sword fighting.
It was meant to take 2, but hey, it paid off.
Oh, one of the best I've ever seen with that blade.
Flashback to the time I went down 3 times.
He takes out the dagger and spins it a little.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Point being, I've done loads of stuff, you know, it's the nature of an Eladrin, but I have to keep myself busy. Like, I've done poetry, I've drank 5-finger fillet, sword fighting, all sorts of stuff. But my have to is to keep going. What I'm trying to say is that you have your whole life ahead of you. You can do whatever you want.
it's not the nature of you being an Eladrin, Luther, it's the nature of you being you. You get
Maybe it's
bored.
both.
Maybe it is. You get bored far too fast. You need something to push you. That's why you were so good as part of the Two Lions. It's also why they were so bad for you.
Exactly. A cat likes catnip, but you can't overfeed it.
Perhaps. I worried about you and I walked away from that ship. Whether or not you'd make it out of there alive.
I've came close to death several times, but I always get back up.
You do. And these people seem like good people.
Yeah. I haven't officially closed off my relation to Two Lions, but these people are better for me, and I should stay with them.
You should. And you know the Lions don't mind. They're a wandering crew, if anything.
That's true. I'll have words with them next time I see them.
Yes, you should. Is there a reason you were avoiding me yesterday? Other than space?
You would think less of me, but I can't help it. It's my nature.
I very much doubt there are many things in this world that could make me think less of you, Luther Eldenheim.
Can I roll insight? Because that will sound like an insult.
Yeah, go for it.
Backhanded compliment.
It's probably intended as such.
Yeah. But would Luther know?
You would know, yes, it is mildly
Yeah.
backhanded, but it's also quite reassuring in that Opal has seen you in some really bad situations and doesn't think poorly of you, has never thought differently of you. It is mildly backhanded. It is a little like, you're an idiot, but it's also like, it's not, you can't get any lower. It's, there isn't anything in the world you could actually say anymore, because I've seen you in so many situations and you've always come out the other side. So lay it out.
Going on this rescue mission was thrilling. It was exciting. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the fact that there was a very real possibility that had we failed, it's the adrenaline. Not that I wanted you to die, I don't, but the thrill. It's an autumn Eladrin. We're all about celebration, we're all about the high risk, the high reward. That's why I need to stop this.
Also why you make such a good hunter. That's why I was never very good at, and he takes the blade and cuts it up his own hand and it crackles into life, spinning with flame. That's why I'm not very good at this and you are. He lets it go, stows it. I don't think less of you because you enjoyed the thrill of the chase, Luther. To be honest, I wouldn't have got you out in the first place if I didn't enjoy it myself, would I?
That's true. I just wonder when the threshold will be when it being too dangerous is a factor rather than my own thrill-seeking tendencies.
I don't think you're going to find that unless you stay with these people.
Then I'll stay with them.
Good. And I'll still be here, and they seem to like this crew. The captain. The captain likes them a lot. So I'm sure we'll get through it together.
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah. He stands up. You're an idiot, you know that.
Yeah, I know.
Rolls his eye and gives you a hug.
Come back.
Go on. Go do what you need to. I'm going to make sure that there's a route back from Tula in a few weeks.
Sounds like a plan. I'll see you when I see you.
Yes, I'll be here. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else? Oh, we'll just jump to you again to Tula.
Is that the sound of Luther Naruto running up the stairs?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You want to bring back Grumpy Baby? You are welcome to bring back cheese. Yes, it will take you an hour. But,
Lola?
I will steel myself for it.
Two ticks again, getting showered.
Draw it out, get my incense. Here he comes. Here they come.
Poof. Or is
So sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
spins the head to 180 to look at you.
You fought a Minotaur. You were so good. You were amazing. You helped us so much. You were so good and so useful. Think of how fantastic you were. You went up against a crystal Minotaur. You're the best familiar ever. I couldn't ask
Onto your shoulder.
for a better fae.
You get a general disgruntled vibe at being destroyed, but it's not angry.
Yay!
He's just
He's
like,
not.
all right, but you're on thin goddamn ice.
Yeah, he's like, yeah. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else?
How many days do I have until Gallia time?
According to my notes, 2.
Okay.
Yes. He's going to be back on the 8th. It's currently the 6th.
Nice.
Or it will be the evening of the 5th when you arrive. So like, yeah.
I am. Is it kind of obvious that Nerin slept really badly? Like, does he look really tired, or
Nerin?
Leo still can't talk?
Can you
Oh.
hear me now?
Oh,
Yeah.
no, hey.
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Go back.
Nerin will have been spending the whole day trying to sleep.
Okay.
Okay,
Very valid.
I will say if you're spending the rest of the day trying to sleep, you can undo the point of exhaustion.
I was going to say, like, in
'Cause you were
which
napping.
case, I will like be periodically throughout the day, like bringing you nice calming cups of tea, like a nice soup for lunch, and then I'll like have like a little hour or like hour and a half where I come and have a little nap and I give you a cuddle.
Yeah, I will say
Nerin's
if you
very
spend the day,
appreciative.
if you spend the day resting, Nerin, then you'll just lose the point of exhaustion without any issue.
Thank
Okay.
you.
So, if we don't have anything else to do, we will stop playing the sad music. And we'll play that one. So it's early evening when you guys arrive in the village, at the edge of the village of Tula. It's 1 second, let me put where's the, I have an aesthetic image for the village. Where is it? There it is. And the ship is placed down in the yeah, there we go. I'm glad you enjoy it.
Has the map changed?
It should have, but I think my Roll20 has had a fit. 1 second.
Yeah,
Is it
it's
from
not different.
Atlantis?
It's Narnia.
It's Narnia. It's path less trodden. Let me refresh and hope that my Roll20 lets me TM. But yeah, you arrive in the early evening in the village of Tula, and you remember, those of you who've been here before, so everybody but Lusa, that it's an open kind of glade that is hidden by a hallucinatory terrain spell, and you remember that yeah, there is a bit of, you have to know where you're looking to get through the hallucinatory terrain spell or be invited in. So you manage to head up and you find, there we go. Let's put you on the aesthetic this time. There we go. Did it work this time?
Ooh, yeah, there we go.
There
Nice.
we go. Thank you, Roll20, for taking 10,000 years to load. And you head off this ship, and Frostlion is fairly insistent about coming off the ship, even though he's he's pretty badly injured still, and because he's the captain. And you come off the ship and you are greeted by stood at the boundary that you remember between the hallucinatory terrain. You are greeted by Mafia, the half-elven woman who is the head of the who's in charge here, and also a familiar face in can I remember the names of these people? In Ibok, the Goliath who you had freed from slavery. And Mafia straightens up and looks over and says, it's not been very long. You're back. You look unwell, Captain. Frostline kind of inclines his head ever so slightly. We ran into some trouble. We're requesting sanctuary for the time being and a conversation with you. Mafia looks over the rest of you, raises an eyebrow as though to say, what are you, to ask what you're thinking. Well?
Just what he says.
In what?
We need to talk.
Preferably in private, if possible.
Yeah.
It's a serious matter, or we wouldn't be asking, I promise.
We've been put through the ringer a little bit. Tying up some loose ends.
Okay. You've definitely done us a service. Come in. She waves a hand and you guys walk past the threshold of the hallucinatory terrain, and there is a flash as the illusion disperses for you, and you can see this small village partially strung up in the trees and partially built on the glade around, not far from the peak skipper itself that has been moored. And because it's early evening, there are lots of people around. There appears to be a fairly significant group of people making a feast, and Mafia looks to Frostlion, and Frostlion says, would you mind if my crew? And Mafia says, nope, come along, come sit down, there should be enough food to feed all of you. A few extra mouths, but we'll make it work. Ibok, go and make sure we can rustle up some more food. Ibok nods and heads off quietly. So, do you want to talk to me first, or do you want to eat? Irela makes some wonderful food.
It's quite urgent.
Yeah.
Talk.
Okay. Frostlion kind of looks at you and says, can I leave this in your hands?
Of course.
Okay.
Oh, also, can I have made Frostlion a nice
Yes, I will say you
walking
have
stick? Thank
made
you.
Frostlion a walking stick.
It has little at the top it kind of going round. It's like vines that have grown and kind of strengthened, and I've made them.
You're getting a bit of lag too.
Yeah,
no.
Niimi is
Yeah.
glitching the hell out.
That has
Hello.
shine.
Am I back?
You are
So,
back, yes.
Okay, so basically I will have grown vines and then until basically they're undiscernible from each other, but then near the top I will have made them leave a little gap in the shape of the peak skipper.
Okay, very cute. He's very happy with using it and thanks you, and limps back to the ship to kind of talk to his crew and get his crew off. And Mafia nods and then waves for you guys to follow her to one of the smaller kind of more out of the way huts, and she opens it and ushers you inside. So, one, you're new, he says, pointing at Luther.
Yes. Luther.
Luther. Welcome to Tula. It's out here, protects people who need the help, etc., etc. We're
That's that I
mainly
can
made
get
up of
behind.
ex-slaves. Yeah, we're mainly made up of ex-slaves. The rest of you, I remember you. Kitto, Hathor, Nerin, Cacula, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yes. I'm for Luther. I'm Mafia. I'm the leader of this kind of area. I've been here the longest. What do you want to talk to me about?
A few nights ago, sorry, the Peak Skipper was raided by the Black Mark. All were arrested. Some were tortured. They were going to be killed, but we managed to break them out.
That's why the captain looks like that.
Quite. We are worried. Frostline had the theory that the only reason they knew how to find the Peak Skipper and that this crew would be on it was because of a leak. It can't be us. Frostline suspects that one of the people we helped free was not actually enslaved at all.
He won't question his own crew, will he?
No, but
They've flown with him for too long. They're too close. We broke them out of prison, so why would we dob them in to then break them out? That doesn't make any sense. The Black Mark don't conduct raids at random. It was a targeted attack. They brought a significant volume of them and had evidence.
I hate to cast aspersions on the crew, and I would never do so if the situation weren't so serious.
What do you mean?
Fallen has been acting very strangely. Not very strangely, just he had a knee injury, a bad one, and there was something off about it. There was something off about him, and I don't know. I don't have any evidence. I'd need to keep a closer eye on him. We were nearly attacked on the way here again, so I was a little distracted, but...
Are you talking about Fallen, Bartold?
Yes.
That man has been on Skyship since the beginning. There is no way he is betraying his crew.
But he might not be himself.
What do you mean by off?
He's been swapped out.
Just checking I've got it right. He's
Could
the
be.
Kalishtar, right? Or that's someone
No,
else?
Fallen's
Yeah.
the gnome. He's the quartermaster.
Okay.
He's the one who's been kind of taking over control. But he Fallen Battle, I know of the man. He's been bouncing around since the beginning of arcane-powered skyships. He traveled on the Arcus, the very first arcane-powered skyship. There is no way that man would betray his own crew.
We're
It is
not
not
suggesting it's him.
Are all those skyships still in operation?
Very few. The Arcanus has been out of commission for years, but
I don't think Cacula is suggesting that Farlan would. I think Cacula is suggesting that that's not Farlan.
Or something is wrong. I might be wrong, I hope I am, but if we are to investigate such insular communities, it wouldn't be fair to act as if there's nothing to be seen in the Peak Skipper, when that might not be the case, is all I was thinking.
You'd be the best person to know. If it wasn't crew and it wasn't us, it would be somebody here. You'd be the best person to know if anybody that you brought back was iffy. You've got eyes like a hawk.
It's just...
there are many people here. But it's not inconceivable that there would be a plant. We've been getting bigger, the community has been getting stronger, and the problem with that is you become noticeable. I was worried when the Peak Skipper arrived in the first place. We'd only been dealing with the Forest Runner before then, and we knew we trusted them, we knew we trusted Cloud Fox. It is not unfeasible that some of the individuals you managed to free were not who they say they are. They're all still here. You're welcome to question them or watch them. I hadn't noticed anything different, but then again, I don't keep an eye on everyone. We're a community.
You weren't looking
I wasn't expecting. Yes.
I think we're best not arousing suspicion right now.
Not yet, anyway.
Yeah.
Then remain.
If this is an advantage we have, we're better holding it as long as we've got it.
Then remain here for a bit. Try and work out what you've got. If anyone's acting odd or weird, then question them. Then see what's going on. You said the Peak Skipper was raided. I don't suppose that they're thinking of going back to the city anytime soon.
No. They can't.
They're welcome here. The Black Markle.
No, just like, we're just seeking refuge. Nothing suspicious.
Everyone is under suspicion now. You've brought this to my attention. You're all under suspicion. Everyone is under suspicion. The end.
That wasn't what I was meaning, like, just playing like we are all just seeking refuge and we're not suspecting anybody. To DM.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, that's fine.
The other thing is, as I said, on the way here, we were nearly attacked by another Black Mark ship. But when they saw the name of our ship, they turned around. They didn't attack us. They weren't looking for our ship, but when has the Black Mark ever taken an opportunity to turn around from a fight against sky pirates?
Rarely, but if they were looking for another ship, a bigger target.
Who could it be?
The Forest Runner.
They're docked. We saw them as we left.
It could have been a day then, though.
I don't know.
We should contact them this evening, Hathor, if you can.
Yeah, I'll talk to works. I need to talk to my mum as well. Jesus Christ.
Yes, you really do.
Okay. Well, you are welcome here, and you are all now under suspicion, and as I'm sure the entirety of my trusted are too. And I'm sure you suspect me, so you're welcome to do so, as you wish. I am not precious. I have nothing to hide and nothing to prove.
Right.
No offense, but you're not very likely.
No.
Yes. I have worked too hard to build this community.
And you could throw it all away very easily.
Crossed my mind.
Fine.
Needless to say, strange things are afoot, but if we have accidentally brought this darkness to your door, then we shall do our best to sweep it out again.
Naturally.
You look like you're a fair bunch who knows a way around a sword or two. So I trust that you can defend yourselves and my city, my little village, if you are asked to.
Yeah, of course. And we'll try and talk to Farlan as well, or work out a way to approach that.
Understandable. Very fair. Understandable. I should go and eat.
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Come now, let's go find some food. Arela should have some stuff. And she ducks out of the house and waits for you to follow her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She leads you around to like where there appears to be a few people cooking and bashing about. And there's a woman who there's a few people around, like a large like roast of some animal that they've killed. And there's a furbolg stood cutting kind of pieces off this roast, and looks up over at you, and just kind of, and she goes, Aurelia, and the furbolg straightens up and, yes. Cacula, I need you to make me an insight check.
Okay. Poor.
It's fine.
No.
It's not a high DC. You recoil quite naturally, quite suddenly, because Aurelia's the wrong name. This is Yenin.
Then
Sorry, my name is Aurelia. Can I help you?
Nen, it's me. What do you mean?
I'm unsure of what you mean. My name is, I'm confused.
No. It's Ula. Cacula, Wyverstone. You are Yenin? Where did you go? I've been looking for you for years.
The furbolg looks confused and looks at Mafia, and Mafia. Yenin, you call them. Child, they've been here for 5 years. They introduced themselves as Aurelia. Cacula, roll insight.
I'm trying. My roll 20 is not responding. There we go. 16.
It's not that they're lying to you. There is no recognition in those eyes at all. There is nothing there. And you know you're right. You know it's Yenin. There's just nothing.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm awfully sorry. I just obviously not remembering correctly. My apologies. It's just you look awfully like someone that I am looking for and would really quite like to. I'm just I'm not actually hungry. Thank you very much. Lovely to meet you, Aurelia. I'm going to go and help Frostlie and unload. And then he eats out the
Turns
tent
and leaves. Yep. The rest of you watch this happen.
Kitto will go after him. We'll glance around first and then be like,
Nerin would go, but if Kitto was gone first,
Oh, you
then
can go
Kitto
first, you
will
can
go.
go.
Someone will go, I guess is.
I'll make eye contact and nod at Kitto, like, look the fuck after him.
okay. Okay, Kitto's going after Cacula.
Turn back and make a very assessing glare at Yenin.
They genuinely look incredibly confused. You can all roll insight if you want. You're very welcome to. Your insight is not going to be higher than Cacula's, and they just don't. Natural 20, very good. They are lost. They don't know who this person is at all. There's no recognition in those eyes. There's just nothing that looks like they have any familiarity with Cacula at all. They're not being malicious or cruel. They just don't remember.
An odd one. I have a theory.
Yep.
Could I use my Hunter's Bane? Do changelings
Okay.
count as Fae?
Changelings do count as Fae, yes.
If they're not amnesiac, it could be a changeling. That's my two theories.
Okay, they do count as Fae. Also, Hathor is a changeling. So mechanically, Hathor, you know about changelings. Furbolg wouldn't be an impossible thing to reposition yourself as. But to find a changeling, you would either have you could insight. Okay, Luther, roll me insight at advantage because you're specifically looking for changeling features. Let's go with that. Yeah.
Stuff they've got wrong about being a Furbolg.
Okay, that's high enough. They are not a changeling. There is
Okay.
nothing wrong. They are clearly Furbolg. They are completely Furbolg.
You've still got Lola.
Cacula and Kitto.
You find
Cacula.
him a couple of trees away, kind of tucked behind a tree, like leaning into the tree with his forehead like on the bark, just trying to breathe.
I'm gonna sort of hesitantly sort of hover and then put a hand on his shoulder and be like, "Hey, what was that?"
I don't know.
Hey, it's
I don't
okay.
know.
It's okay. Come here. And then he kind of pulls you into a hug. Hey, it's okay. It's all right. What? Did you recognize? You recognized him? Yeah.
For them for 5 years, and they don't even remember.
Oh. Hey.
It's
Okay,
like I found them and then I lost them again.
No, that's... Look. Hey, you're okay. You're okay. And
They left me. They were the only one I had, and they left me. That's what I thought about them. All this time I thought, maybe they didn't, maybe they were kidnapped, maybe they had to leave. But deep down I knew that they left because they didn't want me anymore.
No, I'm sure.
And now, as I was wrong this whole time, maybe they did. And that was such an unkind thing to think about them.
He's going to kind of grab your hands and hold them both. Be like, look, something's going on here. You know him, don't you?
Yeah. They Yenin,
okay.
they were a housekeeper. Ever since I was born. And when my parents died, they took care of me. They were like my mum and my dad and an older sibling. And then one day, 5 years ago, I just woke up and they weren't there. I went into the kitchen and they're gone. I thought they'd gone to the market. But I got back and they weren't there. And then the next day they weren't there again. And after about a week, I just accepted that they'd gone. And I was alone again.
Look at me. Something's going on here. They aren't that person. I don't mean that you don't remember them, right? It's them, but it's not them. You're made of stars, okay? They wouldn't have forgotten you, nor the name they had for all those years. Something else is wrong. It's not you. It's not you. It's not you. And then he'll give you another hug.
You're right. That's such a stupid, selfish thing to think.
Shut up. Shut up. Okay?
Sorry.
No. It's all right. It's all right. You found them, and we'll work out what's happened here. We can work it out.
You're probably going to apologise.
No, not right now. You're gonna stay here having this hug for a bit, and then go get some food, get some water, calm down. If you don't want to eat with everyone else, you can always go to some side and just, you don't have to jump back right in there. Something's gone wrong here. They haven't forgotten you.
All right. I'm sorry.
Stop apologizing. He'll back you on the head with his hand.
Oh, I'm not very good at listening to instructions, evidently. That is one thing they always said.
You idiot, they haven't forgotten you. Something happened 5 years ago.
You're right.
Okay?
Yes.
You will lean back and wipe away the tears with some. Something happened, and we will get to the bottom of it.
All right. God. And yesterday I thought everything was happening.
Everything happens all the time.
God.
That's the slogan of this campaign. Everything
We live
happens
like
all the
this.
time.
Oh God, we live like this.
To briefly flick back to the rest of the group. Luther, roll me perception.
Okay.
Music is so
Oh, that's good.
menacing, I feel perpetually threatened.
That's good. You're trying to work it out. You're looking at this person who Cacula has referred to as Yenin, and they have referred to themselves as Arela. And you're like, they're not a changeling. You'd recognize a change. There's someone touches you on the back of the shoulder. Just tap, 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 tap on the back of the shoulder.
Gonna turn around slowly. Are they invisible?
You can't see them.
Then I'm gonna kick behind me.
You connect with something for the first time. And there's a little bit of a hum in the back of your mind, and you're very aware that this isn't out loud. Honestly, kicking your patron when they're trying to help. Forgive me. It's not very polite. Keep looking.
Patron? I'm sorry. You that voice which keeps sighing whenever I get knocked down. I was thinking that was my subconscious.
Oh no, that's me.
And what do I call you then?
You can call me. Many names for me. It's a very good question. What do I want you to call me? The prince will do fine. Probably the one that makes most sense anyway.
You're the
Keep
reason
looking.
why I'm like this.
I am. Not intentionally, but yes. I'm not doing it to spite you, if that's what you mean. The rest of you are just hanging around, Hathor and Nerin, you're just waiting for, and then suddenly Luther's sword crackles into life. Surprises the other people stood around you.
Turning around looking for a fight.
There's nothing there. And Luther didn't say any of this out loud. There's just Luther's sword lights up, crackling with cold energy, and Luther, you hear a mild laugh in the back of your head. Oh, come on, you're going to scare your friends. You can't hurt me.
Something there?
Yeah. Hathor, do can you do me a favor? Where I'm pointing, I'm gonna like point to where the prince is. Just like put your hand through.
That's all you
Punch at it.
reach out. Yeah, both of you reach out and go, and there's nothing there.
What do I see? Does it go through the prince?
Yeah.
I'll turn off Crimson Ray.
You can't hurt me. I'm not really here, and you're the only one who knows where I am. So stop scaring your friends and listen, Luther Eldenheim. You're on the right tracks, but you've got the wrong end of the stick. Things are complicated. Do some research. You're meant to be good at that.
I want to be good at a lot of things.
It is true, you're more incompetent than I expected, but neither of us decided to be involved in this pact that we have found ourselves in, and well, that's the way it is.
Oh,
There's not so much of a physical form, Lucy. You can't quite see a person. There's like an outline of something vaguely humanoid, but it's very difficult to make out anything else. And there's just like two bright white piercing points of like eyes looking back at you. That's it.
well, if you don't want this and I don't want this, then why don't we work together and not have this?
Because you're useful to me. And I'm useful to you. As much as you don't enjoy being stuck like this, you enjoy the power I give you, don't you? You love the adrenaline.
Not by choice.
The eyes narrow ever so slightly. You don't know what you've done. But until you find out, you have no bargaining power with me, boy. Until you work out what kind of trouble you're in, I hold all the cards. Remember that.
Sure thing.
I'm sure I'll see you again. Maybe next time you're stupid enough to get yourself killed.
You know me by now.
I do. And there is kind of like a flicker, and then nothing.
Is he gone?
He is.
Next time we meet in person, I'm gonna kill you.
Everything happens all the time.
That is where we'll end tonight's session.
If we were to title this episode, I think Everything Happens So Much would be a good title.
Every day.
Every day things occur.
Every day I emotionally damage my characters.
Every day Alex emotionally damages your character.
Yeah.
I told you it was going to be a bad arc.